Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin. Guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than red counters and a spice of cake. First they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian. Guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. Would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe,
if not I can.
Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin. Guerrilla cricket.
Good morning, good evening, good dawn, good dusk. Wherever you are in the world, it's Guerrilla Cricket, and we are getting to the stage where at the end of the group stages. But today, it doesn't matter for Zimbabwe, but they could top the group actually if they end up beating Sri Lanka, as the no result against Ireland means they've got the extra point in hand if they should win, and would end up on 7 points to Sri Lanka's 6. However, Sri Lanka have won the toss, and they have decided to bat. It's quite a grey day actually in Sri Lanka. I don't know. And the teams are as follows. Sri Lanka go Patan Masanka, Kusal Pereira, Kusal Mendis, Pavan Ratnayaka, Kamindu Mendis, Datan Shanaka, Dushan Hamantha, Denith Wellalage, Mahesh Tikshana, Dishan Madashankar, and Pramod Madashan. Zimbabwe go Brian Bennett, sounds like Bennett's brother, Tad Wanashe Miramani. Names.
They're working here.
Yeah, they are. D.L. Myers, Sikandar Raza, Ryan Burl, Tony Manyonga, Tashinga, Musakiwa. Christ, get your names right. Brad Evans, Wellington Mazakadze, Graham Creamer, and Blessing Mazarabani. What do you think is going to happen today?
Ooh,
it's tough to say, Bear. I'm going to stick with my boys. Convincing win for Sri Lanka.
You're a big Sri Lanka man. Patnasanka batted fantastic the other day against the Australians.
He really was out of this world, wasn't he?
He was out of this world, and it was fun watching the Australians collapse in a heap and then look really shit in the field.
It was fantastic. I had
Wasn't it
such
just?
schadenfreude, more so than I did watching England sort of fuck it up or almost fuck it up against Italy. It's nice to see them being slightly worse than
Let's
England.
face it, England have nearly fucked it up against every associate nation they've played against, but they've managed to crawl through and they're in the Super 8s. And now, basically, when you get there, I think it's pretty much anyone's tournament, except for, I am going to say, Zimbabwe. I think they're pretty lucky that Australia turned out such a shit team. It generally happens. One team gets through. USA got through at the expense of Pakistan in the last one, didn't they? So, and then basically got battered in the Super 8s. I think sometimes it comes down when the Super 8s because you don't have such a big squad and you rely on that first team the whole time. They get a bit tired and a bit jaded by so many games in such a short time. Fitness comes to bear and all these kinds of things. So I would say Zimbabwe are going to be the whipping boys of the group stage, of the Super 8 stage.
You'd expect so, right?
I'd expect so. Well, I didn't expect them to get through here, to be honest, and I don't think most people did. The groups were designed such that the big teams, the big two from each one, got through, with the exception of the group with Afghanistan, in which had the possibility that Afghanistan could upset it, and nearly did. They'd have won that Super over against South Africa, or not run themselves out with 3 balls to go.
That would have given that group some real spice.
Would have given that group some real spice.
But something to keep an eye on today, Bear. Sri Lanka lost 3 bowlers from their starting squad. So they got 3 in the 11 today who weren't in the initial squad. They're really walking wounded. And if another bowler goes down...
they lost... what's his name?
Patirana after Hasaranga had gone and Eshan Malinga. So I think Dilshan Madishankar was added to the squad yesterday.
I think there's more than enough people capable of bowling 4 overs in a T20. Listen, I mean, some of the best bowlers have gone out of the park, and some of the worst bowlers have got some great figures of part-timers. You know, it depends what happens on the day. I think Sri Lanka's, having said that, I think we were discussing this just off air. I think the Sri Lankan group in the Super 8s will be in Sri Lanka. I think that might suit England better, actually, in the Super 8s than being in India. They did all right in Sri Lanka in the T20s warm-up they had against Sri Lanka. So they won't be scared of going back there and then actually know what's going to happen. It won't be such a surprise to them.
Yeah, and I think they'll feel like confident about beating Sri Lanka, and I think they should feel confident about beating Pakistan, right?
Well, England?
Yeah.
They should do.
I don't think they necessarily will, but I think they feel confident.
This is the thing. I mean, it's T20, isn't it? So anything can happen on a given day. Someone has an amazing innings, like Patnasanka the other day, scored 151 balls.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You know, I mean, it's always possible with some of these top order batsmen. England will feel that, especially the opening partnership hasn't fired yet, much like India, to be fair. And if it does, then bigger scores are capable. And you know, England's bowling has got smashed around the park at points. I mean, Benetti's 60 odd against England in 20 odd balls the other day scared the shit out of everyone watching it, really, for a minute.
I still do think it looks slightly like a sort of 2.5 bowler attack. But as you say, England
kind of, Adil Rashid's record in India isn't great. And interestingly, the wickets that haven't turned have not been helpful to him. He's tried bowling slow and that hasn't worked. He's tried bowling quick and he's been off beam and bowling short and getting smashed out of the park. I think Jofra's looked good. I think Jamie Overton's bowled pretty well, actually. And Sam Curran, weirdly, considering we're supposedly in spin-friendly conditions, I think our pace bowling lineup has managed better than our spinners. I still don't understand why they bowl Will Jacks over Jacob Bethel as a second spinner, or in the power play. I mean, look, he turns the ball quite a lot, but his control over line and length is poor.
Very poor.
Especially when you've only got 4 overs and 2 men out in a power play. It seems ridiculous. But hey, what should we do? Group 1 in the Super 8s, India, Zimbabwe, West Indies, South Africa. Group 2, England, New Zealand, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. I think from this point on, most games, there's only 1 game a day, which means we're covering all of them. The days that there are 2, there's none that start at 5:30 in the morning, so I know we're covering both games on Sunday. So I think from here on out, we're going to cover the rest of the tournament pretty much. Maybe one day we might only do one game when there's 2 games, depending on crew availability. But mostly throughout the week, there's only 1 game a day anyway.
I've quite enjoyed the 5:30s. I've got to say, like waking up and putting it on in bed half awake, getting a little bit of early morning 6 hitting.
I keep forgetting. To be honest, I just keep forgetting. I don't know if you want to jump on actually, Knackle, because Ed hasn't shown up. And you might as well. If he does show up, then you can take a little break. But yeah, he's supposed to be doing socials. He hasn't showed up on the thingy-majiggy. Right, the old Zoom feed. I'll change the picture. I don't know if you can do that on your way through as well. Let's play some jingles to start this up. Opening for Sri Lanka. Oh, this man.
A Nissan car should drive very smoothly.
Oh, who's opening with him?
Kusal Pereira. I don't think we've got him, Bear. I was
going to say, actually, all these...
Because he was brought in the other day. I was looking for him, but I got a bit panicky about going into the carts.
You just have to do a little search.
And Zimbabwe going to open with spins. Kandoraza bowling his little licorice all sorts.
Caruso Pereira jingle.
And it's busy in Ketarama. Bit of extra security getting into the ground. Normally you wander in pretty quickly, but there's queues as there were in Kandy the other night. Morning, Knuckle.
Morning.
How you
Morning.
doing,
Not
mate?
too bad, thank you. Here with Sri Lankan journalism cricketing royalty.
Well, absolutely.
I don't know about that.
Your enormous and beautiful book is pride of place on one of my bookshelves.
Oh, well, that's always lovely to hear. You're one of the 8 people who's read it.
Yeah, well, no.
I didn't say I'd read it.
First ball down the leg side. It's swept, but straight to the man on the 45. It's this guy batting. 2.
Another keeper batsman.
Oh no, that one gets us dinged, so we can't play that. That one is pulled by Nasanka out towards Cow. There is a fielder. One of the 2 is out there. Sort of very wide, long on, or Cow corner, depending on what you want to call it. And the bowler is this guy.
You might just recognize this guy from the runs he made away. And you might recognize this guy from the runs he makes at home.
Next ball is just worked out to mid-wicket, and he'll get himself a single, bring a Pereira on strike. What are your thoughts on what's going on, Knackle? Super 8s, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, Zimbabwe have played some really good cricket, to be honest. I think they've looked really, really impressive throughout the tournament. Sri Lanka have bounced out really well from a pretty wretched showing in that series against England.
Sakandaraza around the wicket to Pereira, cuts that through the covers, no one out on the offside boundary. First of the day, one of these.
It's Nissan Shi. It's Nissan Shi.
Now, as an India fan, what are you thinking about Abhishek Sharma?
I don't know what you can really read into 3 ducks in a T20
No,
international.
I mean, that was my point.
The golden duck, he absolutely nailed it. Unfortunately, hit the fielder. Abhishek Sharma. The worst thing that Abhishek Sharma could do would be to start doubting himself now.
Yeah, well, that's what I think. I mean, everyone was going, oh, maybe they should change it at the top. It's, as you say, it's 3 innings in an ODI, in a T20. I mean, your job is to go out there and smash it straight from the off, and it's going to go wrong. It's much the same as Phil Salt, really, or in this case, Josh Butler, who's had 3 really low scores. That one's played out on the offside, wide enough for the field that they'll get through for a single.
And within that, Abhishek Sharma's job specifically is to be, like Phil Salt for England, to be the aggressor at the top of the innings, to take those high-risk options, because if he comes off, India will set targets that no one can chase.
Exactly.
And it's exactly the same thing. If Phil Salt's in for 7 overs...
and with Josh Butler, exactly that. Well, mind you, that point was proved totally wrong the other day, as that's driven up wide and mid-off, and there is no run, by Australia, who went absolutely fucking flying against Sri Lanka. I mean, most people watching that were thinking, shit, Australia are going to go through. And then they managed to lose, 9, 10 wickets for 77.
The difference is...
Australia are shit.
all of Australia's middle order are out of form.
Yeah.
Or not good enough. Which is not the case with India or England. I'll get through some social medias. Dan De Castro said that Zimbabwe are 50-1. That must be to win the tournament, not this game.
Yeah.
Loki says Abhishek just need confidence, just one match, he will be okay. He also says if Zimbabwe win this match, then Group A in the Super 8 will contain all unbeaten teams. Suter Who says, I have a tiny kitten baying for my attention. And Jay Grover's sent in a super chat for £2. Knuckle Nick, top nut juxtapose, mint!
Big up, Jay.
My daughter put a top knot on me the other day.
How'd you like it, Bear?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I used to have long hair way back when. That one's worked into the leg side off the hip by Nasanka, who gets himself a single. 10 for none. Mizarabani is bowling the second over, which will give him a jingle as well. He sounds like this.
Would you give praise to this lad on the ground? He's everlasting. He's everlasting.
Fabulous bowler.
Really enjoyed watching him against Australia. Hoping for not a repeat tonight, I must say.
He's very tall. Delivers from a
Huge.
great height. Not particularly quick, though. But yeah, that one's short-ish. Back of a length. Attempted pull.
And
Pereira misses it and there's no run.
Pathum Nissanka's about 5'1", so seeing he and Blessing side by side is really quite something.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit like Timber and anyone in the...
Yeah, there was an old picture
Jansen.
of Nissanka, I think, stood next to Rakeem Cornwall. And it looked like he'd been sort of...
It's the classic from county cricket back in the day. 6'10" Will Jefferson, 5'4" James Taylor batting for Leicestershire together.
Love a little and large combination.
Mizarabani in, pulled, well, picked off a length by Pereira. Good shot over the infield, out to wide mid-wicket. And it will be another run, another 4 run.
4 on the floor, and one more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4's are for, to get funky on the
We've had
dance
nearly
floor.
500 sixes in 40-odd games.
Yeah, they go,
and
don't
probably
they?
about 1,000 fours. It's insane.
Well, nice to see one from Kusal Pereira's bat. He's been out the side for a while and got a low one the other day, but he can smash him when he gets going.
He can indeed. Well, he's hit that one up in the air. Is anyone out there? No, he's sort of pitched it between the man in the deep and the infield. They'll get back for 2.
I was going to say Sri Lanka are carrying a slightly out of form and extremely scratchy hit or miss opener. Hit or miss, because Al Mendes is also a massively hit or miss player.
Yeah, although at the moment he seems to be more hit than miss.
He goes on these runs where he starts scoring in binary.
I enjoy it. Sri Lanka seems to make 2 types of batters. There's sort of artists who look amazing, and then these very crude painter decorators like Kusal Pereira.
Yeah.
Nothing in between.
No. You know, as we said, it's the nature of T20, really. Especially as you get... I must say, watching that game against Australia, the crowd were fantastic.
They were really on it, weren't they,
They were
Bear?
really on it, yeah. Attempted pull by Pereira. Toe ends it. Literally Q ends out to cover. And they'll get a single.
And I've got to say, when Sri Lanka are playing well, the atmosphere in the crowds is always amazing.
Yeah.
It'll be party time here today. With both of these teams have qualified already.
Yeah.
Both playing good cricket. Both on a bit of an up. So yeah, I think the Ketarama will be a good place to be today.
Absolutely. I've been there when I was...
Ketarama
Ketarama Premadasa, you can call
Premadasa.
it that, Knuckle. We don't have to use politicians' names for grounds.
It's Colombo, as far as I'm concerned.
It's Colombo, Bear.
That's what it says on the thing. I think I might even have the wrong ground as a picture, but hey. That one is pulled. Not great timing, but there's no one down there behind square on the leg side, and it will be another 4.
1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door.
20 for none.
few messages on YouTube. Suter Who, slightly harshly, let's not justify Phil Salt. Is threatening the wife to have long hair again, but it would be great as fuck. Tim Wilton Davies, Josh Hull, the future blessing was Rabani. Josh Hull wishes. And Dan De Castro, early score prediction, Sri Lanka probably scored 220, no pressure, easy to slog.
Well, yeah, that may be the case. Could throw it away as well, but no one will really care at the end of the day. Maybe you know, Knuckle, why is it that if Sri Lanka win this game and top the group, they don't switch groups with where they are now?
Because the seedings for the Super 8 were predetermined.
Oh, right.
So the top 8 ranked teams.
Down the leg side, big top edge, but he's got it over the man on the short on the 45, and it's one bounce over the... Well, that was a big top edge, but he's managed to get 4 down to fine leg.
4 on the floor, and one more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4s are for, to get funky on the dance floor.
Yeah, so the top 8 ranked teams were given predetermined seedings, and if anyone knocked one of those out, they take their space. So Zimbabwe have taken Australia's seeding.
Oh, okay, right. That seems a bit of an odd one. But
Yeah, unusual for the ICC, but that doesn't seem like a great system.
No. I'd have thought it should be based on where you finish in the table, but hey. That's played up to long off. It'll be a single. We've got a new bowler. They've gone with 3 bowlers in 3 overs. It's Masakadza.
Could it be Wellington Masakadza on the field right now? Ask yourself, can he even deliver? And does he know how?
Youngest of 3 cricketing brothers, Hamilton, Wellington, and the middle one, not named after a New Zealand city, Shingerai.
Yeah. That's hit in, bowled into the pitch and a bit quicker. It does turn, and Pereira again tries to slog it out on the leg side again, mistimes it. There is someone in the deep, and this time it's only on 1 run. 26 off 2.3 over. It's a good start for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, and this Premadasa pitch, which is often really slow and tacky, looks to be coming onto the bat a little better than it usually does. We'll see if that holds.
The pitches in both here and at the SSC and Palakele all seem significantly quicker than they were during that England series.
Absolutely. I think that's because the ICC have taken over the grounds. They don't have Sanath Jayasuriya on his one-man roller.
Going, we want something really slow.
Sri Lanka certainly are never short of ground staff, so you could...
This is very true, Knuckle.
Around the wicket, Masakadza back in his crease goes Nasanka, and he can only hit it out to cover, and there is no run.
And the P. Sarah, the other ground in Colombo, is amazing because it's the only ground I've ever seen where all the ground staff are women.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Swept from well outside off stump this time by Nasanka. That's a good shot. Picked that up. Went down early. Decided he was going to take it on, and he did. And it is 4 runs. I'm going to go this one.
4. F-O-R.
Looks full of confidence, Pathum Nasanka, after that
Not
100.
surprising, really, is it?
And full of intent.
Yeah.
Pathum Nasanka, he's one of those guys, like, a lot of Sri Lankan cricketers get talked about from school. And he's always been, like, the great hope of Sri Lankan batting.
I've always thought he was pretty good. That's down the leg side. Should
What's
be a
a take?
wide. That's a good take by the keepers. Could have done quite easily 5 wides, but it wasn't.
But he's always seemed slightly too classy, slightly too orthodox for T20, but he sort of added that power and those extra shots to his game.
Yeah, I think he's totally revolutionised his game.
Driven up to mid-off. Oh, bit of a midfield. Could have been a chance for a run-out, but it won't be. 32 for none after 3. Over to Nako. I'm going to go and let Bennett in.
Loki says, I hope Australia don't give a rat about the Cricket Olympics in 2028. Rumour that is that if New Zealand go to the semi-finals, Australia will not qualify for the 2028 Olympics. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at how Olympic qualification works for 2028, but I think it's going to be a 6-team tournament. A bit more Olympics chat. Tim Wilton Davis says the Olympics will be India, USA, Pakistan, and England. Loki says no Pakistan, only 1 team from Asia. I believe that's true. I think it's only going to be 1 team per continent, but I haven't looked exactly how it
we're pretty safe then.
Yeah, just about.
Italy might do us.
Tim Wilton Davis, the whole point of cricket at the Olympics is for Asian TV. Mog, fucking YouTube trying to block me from watching this. I will destroy them. Jay Grover says, I swear Sri Lankan ground staff is better than job seekers' allowance.
Maybe. New bowler, 4 bowlers used in 4 overs. First ball goes for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Bit shit down the leg side, bowled by
International heartthrob, Brad Evans. Honky heartthrob, Brad Evans. He's got the lie.
Suter Who rightly makes the point that England isn't a nation in the Olympics, so it's Team GB. I don't know if Mark Watt might push for a slot in Team GB.
Well,
love to see it.
Not after this World Cup.
No, it's true.
He's been absolutely battered every time I've seen him bowl. Considering the last one, he was quite bowled really smartly. But this one he's been absolutely hammered. That one was absolutely hammered by Nasanka over the infield, out to the boundary once more. A lot of boundaries.
2 + 2 is on man. 2 + 2 is on man.
40 or 3.2 overs. Pretty good start here from Sri Lanka.
Really strong start. And yeah, Patham Nisanka, everything seems to be going right now.
Yep. Well, I mean, this is it. I mean, you know, Australia being so weak, you expected Zimbabwe to go out at this stage. That one's cut. Good bit of, well, palmed by the man behind square at point.
Yeah, saved
Stopped
3
it.
there.
Yeah, definitely saved 3. Would have gone for 4. Broken his sunnies though. Oh my God.
Oh, Ryan Burl, he's just landed on his... oh no, it's not Ryan Burl. Ryan Burl's picked up the sunglasses.
Oh, he's trod on them as he set off to get after the
landed
ball.
on him. He's done an Andrew Strauss auto sunglass ejecto.
41 for none after 3.3 overs. Pereira facing up. Evans bowling. He's gone 4 for 1 in his first over. 9 off the first 3 deliveries. Round the wicket he comes to Kusal Pereira.
Oh!
Now was that a drop or did that just go away?
I think it nipped past the outside edge, but the keeper made an absolute meal of it.
He did indeed. Should have taken that quite easily, but he didn't. That was just a fantastic game against Australia.
It was, and it's those pickups just sort of off his hips which really stand out for me, Bear.
Exactly. They were all going into the stands as well, weren't they?
They were indeed.
Has to be said, I can't remember a weaker Australia attack at a major tournament.
No.
Certainly pace attack. I know they're missing Stark, Cummins and Hazelwood, but even so.
Well, Stark's retired, isn't he? But yeah, they're missing Cummins and Hazelwood. Yeah, and the batting lineup just looked weak, didn't it? I mean, I don't know how they didn't pick Piggy. That one is cuffed off the thigh, really, by Pereira with no real timing. Goes to man on short on 45. They do scoot through for a quick single, though.
Great to see Steve Smith, though, doing a sort of 24,000-mile round trip to stand at cover for a couple of overs.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's put on a bit of timber, hasn't he, Steve Smith, in the last couple of years?
I just think fielding in these Chanderpool eye strips is fucking ridiculous.
He started wearing them for batting during the Ashes in the day-night test.
Yeah. That's cut. It went away from the batsman. And it was a bit top edgy, but of course it's power play. There's no one out there down at third man. And once again, it's 4 more.
There's not one boy for me.
Are we expecting rain today?
I read that it was looking dry, Bear, but the sky doesn't look massively blue.
No, it doesn't.
Normally in Sri Lanka, though, it gets really dark before it rains, so I think we'll get a bit of warning.
Yeah.
You'll know when you start seeing 60 ground staff massing on the boundary. Suter Who says Mark Watt's been terrible this tournament, probably the worst bowler of the tournament, unfortunately. Lockie the Sixth that says, I bet tomorrow's Siggy money on Zimbabwe. This game matters. Dan De Castro, so far, as expected. Nothing to lose. They're going to score berserk. Dan De Castro says, I bet Zimbabwe too, but we're going to lose. Mog says, Australia's got a bunch of past it shit trucks and rank not evens like Cooper Connolly. Fantastic name. Not necessarily such a fantastic player. And Tim Wilton Davies says, why didn't Australia pick Brendan Doggett and Michael Neser?
Well, Mazharabani around the wicket, pulled by Pereira, out. There's 2 men out on the leg side, but he bisects them effectively. And once more, it's 4 more runs.
Zimbabwe have bowled way too short so far.
Yeah, and that's the 50 up in 4.1 overs. Good, very good start here from Sri Lanka.
Even an out of form Kusal Pereira, don't feed him on the cut and the pull.
Well, and you might get him into form, innit? And if you get him into form nicely for the Super 8s, that'll do them very well. As you say, a lot of injuries to the bowling attack in Sri Lanka. That one's worked to the man short on the third man on the 30-yard circle, but they still get through for a single.
Yeah, Dushan Hemantha's done extremely well coming in at late notice for winning the Hasaranga Bowl extremely well against Australia, replacing arguably Sri Lanka's certainly best known bowler.
Yeah, he was fantastic the other night, Nakul, and it's huge for Sri Lanka because in his limited opportunities over the past few years, he hasn't quite looked up to Hasaranga's standard. And Hasaranga is really the big wicket taker in the middle overs.
Yeah, he didn't do very well against England, though, did he, when he came into the side? He was coming back from injury, though, I believe, wasn't he? That's worked out short third man for a single.
He's really out of shape there.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think international leg spinner should pull a hamstring delivering a leg break.
No.
That might be unsympathetic, but that's my 2 cents.
He bowled pretty well on that one leg. He finished his spell on one leg.
He got 3 wickets or 4 wickets
Yeah.
in one leg as well, didn't he? But yeah, you're right. He shouldn't be. I mean, spinners shouldn't be pulling hamstrings, and calves maybe, but even then. I mean, I don't think I ever pulled any muscles bowling. Mind you, I'm not an international bowler. But I bowled for a lot of years and into my 40s. That one is just guided down towards short third man, and they still get through for the single once again.
How big a loss is Paterna?
I think he's a huge loss, Knuckle. He's been out the side for a long time because he's had some issues with his radar, kind of remodelling his action. But now, since he came back in for the England series, he's looked really, really dangerous. Bowling up at 150, bowling with the new ball, which is new. He's really dangerous at the death with those Yorkers and slower balls. So I do think the kind of fabric of Sri Lanka's attack has been harmed pretty irreparably.
He was one of those bowlers, though, that his radar wasn't fantastic still, even now.
No, it can go wrong.
And that was, again, off the hit. Not sure, was that leg by? Was that
Yeah, I think sort of in the way that Shane Warne ruined expectations for leg spinners, Lasith Malinga ruined reasonable expectations for bowlers that slingy.
Yeah. And his radar can go off, and he can bowl a couple of really good overs and go for 30 in the next 2. He was one of those, wasn't he, really? Last ball of our spell, then we're going to have a little switcheroo. That one is out.
Oh.
The slower ball, Mazharabani. Again, Pereira tries to put it. I was just about to go over and fall on the next wicket as well. Fortunately, I didn't. Kuta Pereira's pulled that straight to the man on the 45. He's taken an easy catch. Sri Lanka lose their first wicket after 5 overs at 54 for 1. It's still a pretty good start, and they've done what they're supposed to.
The crowd says, the crowd says, the crowd says you're out.
Over to you, Knuckle.
Thanks, Bear, as Kusal Janith Pereira goes, his first meaningful knock of the tournament. Dan De Castro says if the game mattered, then they'd have bowled first. Sri Lanka, which does seem to be the default if you don't know what to do in a T20, bowl first. Suter says Doggett's done his hamstring, Spencer Johnson's got broken back, Hazelwood dodgy calf rested for the IPL, Nisa doesn't play T20. Biggest question, why Mitch Owen wasn't selected? He had scored a lot of runs in the Big Bash. Going back to Steve Smith, the one part of Australia's T20 batting lineup that looked settled was the opening partnership of Mitch Marsh and Travis Head, and that's where Steve Smith bats. At the top of the order in T20. I really don't understand why they dropped Matt Renshaw for the last game.
That was a really odd one. We're having a switcheroo. It's the same 3. You're doing ball by ball now, Nick. You're summarising, and I'm going to take over socials.
Lovely little bit of musical chairs, and we are into the last over of the power play. Evans is going to bowl it. Pathum Nissanka is going to be on strike. And Kusal Mendes has come to the crease in fantastic form. Sri Lanka will need him to stay red hot if they're going to get anywhere in the Super 8s.
Another really classy batter.
Yeah, who's never quite fulfilled his potential, as Nissanka just places that between the 2 men behind square on the offside, and it trickles away to the boundary. So more runs, and I've won my over 30 bet.
Well done, you. What, for Nissanka?
Indeed, Bear.
4.
Death taxes and Pathum Nissanka overs for me. It was nicely placed. He just opened the face and sort of glided it past that man at short third.
Brad Evans has been too short throughout his entire spell. Those 3 boundaries that Nissanka hit in his previous over were all too short into the arc.
Yeah, they haven't found their length through the first 31 balls, the Zimbabwe bowlers. They haven't particularly found their line, and Brad Evans has lost his footing there.
Something weird happened.
I think a big bit of divot of turf came up.
It looks like sand.
Send for the man with the hammer.
Well, Sri Lankan outfields aren't always of the highest quality. There's often a sort of rush to get them ready. They look like total sort of farms, sort of 48 hours before the match. Honestly, I've been to the SSC once the day before a test.
Yeah, you can see there's a massive puff of dust as he plants his foot just as he's about to jump. That could be really jarring as a quick bowler.
Yeah, he was lucky to avoid any damage there, Brad Evans. That's the sort of one that you can really easily turn an ankle. Kusal Pereira feels slightly unlucky with the way he got out. Yard either side of that man and it was 4, but it went straight down the fielder's throat.
I'm going to do that.
40-year-old Graham Creamer.
Graham Creamer back in business, and Blessing absolutely loved it. There was a real roar, and well there might be, because Sri Lanka had got off to a really good start. Zimbabwe needed a wicket to just peg them back a little bit.
The line is 186.5.
I think that sounds low.
Yeah, it does to me. That's why I've gone over it.
But if spin comes in, maybe it might get a little bit harder to score.
Wow.
I'm going to go over it too, though, Bear, while we've got a little break in the action.
Zimbabwe's strength is their pace attack. Evans and Musrabani, although...
what have they got in terms of spin? Creamer and Raza?
Secunda Raza, Wellington Mazakadze as well. Although they've left out Richard Ngarava for this match. I mean, he's not come back in. The Zimbabwe are unchanged. There's 2 changes for Sri Lanka. One of them enforced with Dilshan Madhushankar coming in for Matish Parthirana. And the other change is, if I scroll down far enough, excuse me, the other change is Duswantath Chamira, their premier fast bowler, has been rested, and Pramod Madhushan has come into the attack. The other guy who's come into this team, very much kind of on potential rather than on sort of real numbers, is Pavan Ratnayaka.
Yeah, he's done absolutely nothing in domestic T20 cricket, but comes with a high reputation. In the red ball game, he got a big 100 in South Africa at sort of a run a ball, and he's looked fantastic. Got 100 in the ODIs against England, and since he's come into the T20 sides, showed real intent, positive foot movement forward and back, looking to hit lots of boundaries, and I think he's going to be a find for Sri Lanka. Really interested to see how Dilshan Madhushankar goes too. Nakul, you might remember the ODI World Cup. He bowled an absolute beauty to Rohit Sharma. And since then, his career has utterly stalled through injuries.
Death taxes and injuries to Sri Lankan fast bowlers. I really like Duswantath Chamira. I think he's a fantastic bowler and a real competitor, but he just keeps getting injured.
He does struggle to stay on the park for sort of longer than 3-month runs. I think Sri Lanka were wise to rest him today. They can't afford any more injuries, but you can't wrap them all in cotton wool.
You can't. Let me get some... the mound pounder when it was supposed to come out, but it looks like they're painting lines. I don't know what that's all about. Jay. All right, Jay. Haven't seen you for a couple of days. He says, to quote John Embry, if you've got no fucking muscles, you've got no fucking muscles to pull. Very true. And Lockie says, cheer up, Jay. Bears on socials, yeah. Extra Fluffo says the opium den looks packed tonight. Opium for men. Yeah, that's that's a fragrance, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so, yeah. Done by one of these high-end pieces. Extra Fluffo says scent of a lion. Yeah, that's better.
60% of the time it works, every time.
Yes. What else have we got here? Joe Grover says to suit a who, maybe the Australians have a Mitch quota. Yeah, you can't have too many Mitches, although they could have quite a few, I imagine.
Yeah, what did they only have one in the squad? Marsh.
Just the Marsh.
But they could have Stark, Owen.
Yeah, they could have had quite a few. There was a time when they had 3 Mitches in the side. I can't remember when it was. But
As we're back, Brad Evans bowls. Ooh, the second ball belatedly, and he almost gets a caught and bowled. He had to dive back towards the leg side, so it was just out of his reach, but that didn't come out the middle of Patham Nisanka's bat. It's about the first time tonight that he's miscued one.
I think Evans might have just found the formula in this picture. It wasn't a cutter, but sort of he held it a little bit deeper in the crease, deeper in the hand rather, so it came off a bit slower. I think the sort of cutters and off pace might be the way for the seamers on this pitch. That would have been a phenomenal caught and bowled.
Would have been out the Chris Jordan playbook. This time he's a little bit onto Nisanka's pad, so he turns it round the corner and just gets a single through to Blessing on the 45. I think you're right, Knuckle. Those sort of cutters, slower balls can stick in the pitch, and it's the length as well, right? It was that classic good length where the batter isn't quite sure whether to go forward or back.
Hard lengths, as they call them in T20 cricket.
Indeed.
And other than Musrabani, Evans isn't quick enough and isn't going to get enough bounce to bowl too many on pace. Musrabani, obviously, with the height and the extra pace, has a little bit more room to work with.
As Kusal Mendes faces up to his first ball. Evans is in over the wicket. It's short. Kusal tries to pull and he gets nothing but fresh air. The keeper looks interested, but I don't think it was anywhere near the bat. The umpire is unmoved, so it's just going to be a dot ball. Although Sikandar Raza's having a little wave, they're not going to take the review, I think, wisely.
That was a very optimistic and very lonely appeal from Fediwanashe Moramani.
It's always worth an ask, right? Although it does seem increasingly pointless in the DRS era.
Oh no, always appeal, and then if it doesn't go your way, just get on with it.
But I think he needed Joel Wilson to get any joy there. This time it's slightly skewed off the outside of Kusal's bat, but it goes down to the man at deep backward point for 1. So 6 off the over so far, relatively good one to end the power play for Zimbabwe, but there is 1 ball left, and as always it can be tricky getting out of it. I think Nissanka will only have one thing on his mind as the field is going to spread next ball.
That was a knuckleball from Evans. So he's bringing in those slow ball variations.
Yeah, he's showing his skills, but can he finish strong? Last ball of the power play, he's close to the stumps. Nissanka cuts, but it'll just be 1 out to deep backward point. So Sri Lanka 61 for 1 after 6.
Well, Tim Wilton Davis says calling it early, Mazharabani to be the top wicket taker of the whole World Cup. Lockie thinks my betting app is more important than their drivel. Not true, not true. Just have to get them in occasionally. Jay says, Lockie, don't even try and shame the man. If you're talking about me, you won't. That's true. Steve Kelk says...
Shame left the building for the bear a long time ago.
Indeed. Steve Kelk says, Knackle, praise be.
Hi.
Extra Fluffo says he started writing a book. There you go. Is it about Sri Lankan cricket? Are you trying to outdo Nick?
An Islands 12.
Yeah.
Well, I just finished a book last night, Bear, so I'm in celebration mode.
You finished it? You finally got it done?
Well, got a first draft off to a publisher.
I was going to say, does now the editor take over?
Yeah, indeed. As we're back with Sikandar Raza bowling to Pathum Nissanka, who works it into the leg side for a nice, easy single.
Do you get a look after they've edited it and go, I don't like that?
Yeah, now
back in.
Now it's a sort of barter process, for want of a better word, over everything from name, words, cover. There's going to be plenty of disagreements.
How many pages?
It's short. It's about 65,000 words, so much shorter than the last one. As this time Kusal rocks back, he pushes it straight to cover, so there's no run there.
About 300 words to a page, is that right?
I think it will end up somewhere in the 200, 250 page
right.
mark.
That's good. Don't want it much longer.
Sort of novella length.
Novella length, absolutely.
Well, that used to be a novel in my day, but now everything's 1,000 pages long, isn't it? It's too long for fucking books.
As Raza goes fuller, looked like a sort of leg break, and Kusal pushes to the man at long on for 1.
Yeah, Sikandar Raza is one of these bowlers who has started bowling both finger spin and wrist spin to try and make himself less sort of, or more match-up proof. So he can't just be lined up by left-handers.
Yeah, and that one was a little swinger to Pathum Nissanka, who pushes out to deep extra cover for a single. Zimbabwe have stemmed the flow a little bit. I really like watching him bowl in T20 cricket, Knuckle.
Sikandar Raza is a fantastic cricketer. Another veteran now, 40 years old.
Is he that old? Christ.
39. Him and Graham Creamer are both 39. The 40-year-old Brendan Taylor, unfortunately, managed to injure himself in the first game of the tournament.
As Kusal rocks back, plays it out into the leg side for 1. I really enjoyed it in the summer. I was at Trent Bridge watching him play in the test match, and then I got home the next day. I was on my sofa, I switched on the telly, and there he was playing in the PSL final. Not just playing in it, winning it.
Yeah, I think he basically got off the plane, went straight to the ground.
So who says cricketers don't work hard? As Nissanka plays that out to the man at wide long on, ending the over for with a single. Another good one for Zimbabwe. Sri Lanka 66 for 1.
Jamil Durrani says Pakistan, 3 p.m. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Suto, I think naming player Mitch is Stark, Owen, Perry, Swepson,
Swepson.
and Marsh.
Don't know
Nearly
Perry.
half a team. It's true.
I feel like Mitch Swepson sort of played more Test cricket for Australia. He's a pretty solid leg spinner.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's his name? Zampas had a pretty poor tournament, didn't he? He didn't take any wickets at all.
It's difficult when you're carrying an entire attack.
Yeah, I guess so. Steve Kelk says, listen to those snobby GC commentators talking about words and stuff.
What's this?
Fucking ponces.
What's this next book on?
It's on Bumrah Knuckle.
Oh.
So you might read this one. As Graham Creamer's going to come into the attack.
We should give him a jingle if I can find him. Here he is. You can talk over the top of it.
He starts full and straight and flighted, and Nissanka can't get it away. So a nice dot ball.
Graham Creamer never gives up.
A pretty apt jingle given Graham Creamer's journey back into international cricket.
Lots of flight. Nissanka's down the track, beats the man at short extra cover, but it won't get to the boundary. The rider stops it, and it will just be one. R185. Not looking as locked on as it was a couple of overs ago.
Changing your mind almost as much as the in-play betting market. Or the win predictor. Yeah, Graham Creamer spent basically 6 or 7 years out of international cricket. His wife is a pilot and got a job as a airline captain for Emirates.
Okay, wow. So did he have to move, Knuckle? As Kusal just turns it round the corner, it's straight to Blessing on the 45. So there's another dot ball there for Creamer, one from his first 3.
So obviously, as a pilot, you're not turning down getting a job with Emirates. So they moved to Dubai. He was planning to basically use Dubai as his base and travel and play cricket from there. But he had to take over basically being as a homemaker so that his wife's career could continue.
Wow, Kusal doesn't quite get that off the middle of the bat. It goes straighter than he wanted, but they might... No, they're just one there down to long on. So he was house husbanding.
He was a homemaker essentially while his wife got her career off the ground. Now the kids are a bit older. He came back into Zimbabwean domestic cricket and kind of proved that he's still got it, and now he's back playing at a World Cup.
And he's looking fairly decent. That was a little googly, which Patham squirts away into the leg side for another single. So Zimbabwe have stopped the boundaries. Just 4 from the first 5 here, just 3 from the first 5 here.
I think Graham Creamer looks a little bit like KP.
I can see it. It's the tool and the sort of salt and pepper hair.
Yeah, even the smile.
Well, he's giving the ball plenty of flight. This one's wider. Kusal drives. It'll just be another single. So really, really good over from Graham Creamer to start. 4 from it. Sri Lanka 70 for 1 after 8.
Graham Creamer made his Test debut in 2005.
Wow. 21 years ago.
I wonder if there's anyone still active earlier. Would Shakib Al Hassan have a...
Has Shakib officially retired? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, he might have done.
Was he pushed out eventually?
You never quite know, do you?
Corruption scandals finally.
Well,
got
he
hold
almost
of him.
wasn't let back into the country, wasn't he? Because he was an MP of the now deposed ruling party.
Always smells a bit dodgy to me when you're an MP while you're still like an active sportsman.
Yeah. There's a lot of Sri Lankans like that.
But yeah,
Sanath was sports minister for a while, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, and he was he did some very
dodgy shit.
Well, actually, no, it was when he was chief selector that he picked, I think, the travel minister's son, who had basically no record. As Mazak is back into the attack, and Kusal plays it out towards extra cover, but there's no run there. Manny Pacquiao was a sort of senator or something while he was still boxing.
Yeah. So much so that he basically stopped a mini civil war in the Philippines by going on TV and basically saying stop.
just stop.
He was a great boxer, though, Manny Pacquiao.
He sure was.
That Mayweather fight ended up coming too late in Pacquiao's career, unfortunately.
As this time Kusal rocks back, he cuts, but he can't beat the man at short third. So another dot ball. Zimbabwe really pegging Sri Lanka back.
Yeah, I think they need to go down the track, hit over the top straight.
That looks the way, right?
slightly bigger square boundaries here than in some of the Indian grounds.
Yeah, the Premadasa boundaries are fairly long, so there should be 2s on offer if Sri Lanka can find the gaps. That one's straight out to the rider, so it'll just be 1. 2-dot balls and a single to start the over for Mazakadze. Nissanka is 39 from 26. Kusal has taken a little time to get himself going, 6 from 11. But crucially, Sri Lanka have only lost 1 wicket, so they've got a decent platform to launch. Oh, that's filth. It's short and wide, but Nissanka opts to pull.
It should be 2.
Should be 2 out to the man at long on. It is indeed. Ryan Burl was there doing the fielding. It was so wide, I'm surprised he looked to slap that leg side.
I think it just never arrived at him, didn't he? So he was very early on the shot. So I think Mazakadze went for the arm ball, but just dragged it down massively. Dragging your length down sometimes as a spinner in T20 cricket when you've got boundary fielders sometimes isn't such a bad ball.
No, you can get away with that one. It was a sort of one eyeball. This time he's full and on off stump, and Nissanka just pushes to the man at short extra cover for no run. Sri Lanka flags are in the crowd. Love to see it. Pigeons on the roof. What a day to be at the Premadasa.
Pigeons ruining the solar panels.
I was going to say, they're all shitting on the solar panels.
And that is classy from Patham Nissanka. Opens the face, just tickles it really fine, but he can't beat short third, so it's just 1 in the over, 4 from it, 74 for 1 after 9.
Steve Kelk asked Jay Grover, do you have anything to do with the orchestrally humming fridges in the Sheffield Co-op? Have you heard that story?
No, I have not.
Apparently there's a bunch of fridges in a co-op in Sheffield that are creating notes, and it creates a tune.
Oh, wow.
And presumably because they're all fucked, but maybe someone's actually done something to them, who knows. Lockie 6 says, we need Will to confirm that there are many penguins on Goose Green. I presume that's Goose Green in the Falklands.
That sounds like code.
Yeah,
yeah, the only Goose Green I know is in Peckham.
There's a Goose Green in Peckham,
I've never seen a
but I've never seen a penguin there, no.
there.
But I'm assuming they mean Goose Green in the Falklands.
So it is going to be Graham Creamer to continue for a second over after a really good first. That is not a great ball though. It's short and down the leg side, and Kusal finds the gap. So that's going to be the first boundary in a good few overs. Sri Lanka needed that.
They did. I needed it too for my 186.
As do I, Bear.
Yes.
Yeah, Nissanka got onto that very, very quickly. The first boundary since the 6th over.
Yeah, so it's been a long time coming. Both these players so good off their legs. You don't want to feed them leg side at all. As this time Creamer is full, it's flighted, it's outside off stump, but Patham Nissanka plays a lovely lofted cover drive. It's really well fielded by Ryan Burl out there in the deep, so he saved 2 runs.
That was a lovely bit of cricket all round. Nissanka came down the wicket. Creamer saw him coming, held it back, bowled it wider. Nissanka went through with the shot, one-handed, timed it beautifully, and a fantastic bit of fielding by Ryan Burl.
Yeah, lovely one-handed pick-up with his weaker hand on the bounce, switched it to the right and got the throw off fast. Really good cricket all round. It's warming up at the Premadasa. Sri Lanka 80 for 1 after 9.2. Little bit straighter from Creamer this time, and he gets a dot ball. Patham can't beat short extra cover. Sikandar Raza doing good work on the fielding there. Big gold chain round his neck. Love to see it.
Love to see a good gold chain.
Creamer is in again. This time it's wider, but Patham looks to sweep. He can only find fresh air. Really slow from Graham Creamer. That's right down at 49 miles an hour. Just tempting the batsman. His eyes lit up, and then he was left a little red-faced as he reached for it and couldn't find it. It was really wide to sweep.
Turned a lot more than he was expecting it to.
Yeah, it does look that the slower balls getting a bit of turn. This time Patham rocks back, pushes it out into the offside. They'll get back for 2, so some decent running from Sri Lanka here, and a good over for them. 8 from it after 5. Last ball of the 10th. Patham celebrates his 50.
At the end of this over, we're having a change. Knackle, you're going to do ball by ball. You have to come here. It's supposed to be Arnav and Bennett, but I haven't seen Arnav turn up yet. Bennett is there. Maybe Will can hop in for Arnav if he doesn't show up.
Being left a bit short-handed today, aren't we, Bear?
Well, people aren't showing up when they're supposed to be on the rotors.
Dead rubbers.
Dead rubbers.
So
50 to follow that fabulous 100 for Patham Nissanka.
Yeah, fantastic form for him. 34 balls it took. and he'll want to keep on going. Oh, he gets an outside edge there, but there is no slip, as you would expect in the 10th over, and short third man can only half stop it, so it's going to trickle away to the boundary.
Handy boundary.
A really good over for Sri Lanka, that. 4-6, 8-12 from it. They're 86 for 1 after 10 as Pathum moves to 54.
All right, Bennett.
Hello.
Going all right, Bennett?
Okay.
How are you, Bennett?
I'm great, Nick. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, mate. Very well. It's always a good day when Nisanka's scoring runs.
Absolutely. Just picking up from where he left, didn't he? After that sort of epic knock. He looks like he's in great form. It's a shame. Kusal Pereira seemed like he was getting into some kind of form before he lost his wicket.
Looked good. Promising sign, even if he didn't go on today, Bennett. Nice to see him getting into double figures.
Indeed.
And I am off, so I'll leave you two for now, but I'll be back soon.
Awesome.
I think you might as well stay because I think Arnav hasn't turned up. Welcome to Guerrilla Cricket's coverage of this group game between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe from the R. Prabindasa. I'm Nakul Pandey, taking you through the next 5 overs, and very Sri Lankan flavour as with Nicholas Brooks and Bennett Olusegun.
Yeah, you're in a Sri Lankan sandwich today, Nakul. Although Sri Lankans don't really do sandwiches, do they, Bennett? I've struggled to find them.
Hopper?
Yeah, you're in a hopper or in a kottu.
Roti, Sri Lankan hoppers, string hoppers. Hi, Nakul. We haven't been on air together before.
Yeah, lovely to make your acquaintance as Sikandar Raza continues. Bowls a quicker delivery, which Kusal Pereira goes back to and just drops into the onside. And I think for Sri Lanka, getting Pathum Nissanka on strike as much as possible is definitely the way to go. He is the second highest run scorer in the tournament, behind Farhan Zebzada, who got that 100 yesterday. All of these top 5, Aidan Markram, Ishan Kishan and Kusal Mendes will have opportunities to add to that. The wind blowing to the offside for the right-handers from this end. This one's short from Sikandar Raza, and Pathum Nissanka goes back and flat backs it out to Ryan Burl at long on. They come through 4-2 as the Papare band starts going in the stands, and to be honest, I don't think it's stopped since about halfway through that Sri Lanka Australia game.
I'm not sure it's stopped since about 2003, Nakul.
The Papare probably since 1996 when Sri Lanka won the World Cup. I mean, I can't wait to go into the big match shortly with the Papare bands. Go on, sorry.
Arm ball from Sikandar Raza, which Nissanka drives out to deepish, set mid-off. They come through for a single.
Well, the hundreds have been slightly like London buses in this tournament. We had to wait for the third week till we got one, and now we've had 2 in 3 days. I'd love to see another one today.
Pathum Nissanka looking good, 57 of 37. Kusal Mendes just giving the strike to Nissanka. Oh, Sikandar Raza goes all Kedar Jadhav, captain underground, down on one knee, slings it down the leg side. Would have been a wide if Kusal had left it, but he ends up sweeping it straight to short fine leg. There is no run. We've seen the Namibia captain Gerhard Erasmus do that quite a lot this tournament, down on one knee, slinging the ball in very, very low.
There was an Indian slow bowler, right?
Kedar Jadhav, he was an all-rounder. Oh, now Sikandar Raza is going Sunil Narayan and hiding the ball behind his back. Kusal Pereira sweeps. The man comes around, Brad Evans from deep square leg to field, and it's only a single. So Sikandar Raza going through his bag of tricks, making sure that everything's in working order.
And we've seen Rian Parag do it recently in the IPL.
Yeah, Rian Parag is IPL, but this guy Yadav, he was Jadav or whatever his name was. He was quite effective as a bowler. Although he was a batter who was bowled a little bit, he was quite effective.
Again, Raza hides the ball behind his body in his run-up and bowls one that just skids on to Pathum Nissanka, who pushes for 2 out to deep square leg. 7 off the over. Sri Lanka 93 for 1. Yeah, Kedar Jadhav started his career as a keeper batter, then became just a batter, and then started bowling these very slingy off breaks. And yeah, it was quite effective as an ODI batter for India for 3 years. Sorry, Nick.
What do we got? Jay saying Will is far too wise to join the Paras. Tim is reflecting on the fact that Karabag have got to travel 5,000 miles to St James's Park to play their second leg at 6-1 down. Anthony Gordon ripped through them last night. What else have we got? Lockie's saying, I bought a punnet of cherry tomatoes and a Lebanese cucumber today. Makes the sausages healthy.
Change of bowling, spinner for spinner.
Could it be Wellington Mazakata on the field right now? Ask yourself, can he even deliver? And does he know how?
None for 16 off his 2 overs. He drops short, and that's good running from Nissanka and Kusal. Just a nothing more than a push past point, and they come through for a couple.
These two have been the backbone of Sri Lanka's batting for a while now, and it's critical that they play this period through, Nakul, to set up a good score for Sri Lanka.
You got to come Pavan Ratnayaka, rising star, the prodigiously talented Kamindu Mendes, who hasn't quite found his method in T20 cricket, and the human catapult Dasan Shanaka, who only seems to have one shot. Try and hit the ball as hard as humanly possible. Kusal Mendes just pushes a single. Oh no, 2 in fact, to deep mid on. I don't think Zimbabwe will be very happy with that. Nicely placed. Yeah, good weight or lack of weight on the stroke, and they come through for a couple.
And it does look like the ethos is going to be low risk, Bennett, for the next couple of overs. What kind of score do we think they're targeting here? 190?
I think 190 would be a sort of commanding score. Anything above 200, probably a winning one. But let's see how it goes.
A little bit of turn from Wellington Masakadza, bowled it a little bit fuller. Kusal Mendes blocks from the crease. There is no run.
And I like the way, Nakul, that they're not taking too many chances and stealing those, converting those ones into twos, placing the ball.
A little wider on the crease. Masakadza, Kusal drives inside out. It's a very pleasant shot for one. That inside-out chipped drive, which was fairly pointless because there was actually no 1-2 chip, but he gets a single. It's one of those shots that in a net everyone goes, wow! And it's just a single.
Yeah, I try and play it, except for when I try and play it knuckle and it sort of squirts up at about knee height.
Masakadza bowls one that would have taken out Nissanka's off stump, but again, that very late cut from Patham Nissanka. Semi-misfielded by Graham Creamer at short third, but I think there would have been one anyway. Good over this from Wellington Masakadza. 6 runs off it thus far, 1 ball to go. Sri Lanka definitely trying to push the Zimbabwean fielders. Last ball of the over is cut, and Graham Creamer at 39 years old goes down in installments. Ping works hard at short third, which is often where you try and hide slower fielders. They come through for a single, 7 off the over. Sri Lanka's 100 up, 100 for 1 after 12, having won the toss and chosen to bat.
And we've gone quiet on the socials, so if you are out there and watching along with us, do give us a shout. Bit of chat about Lockie's Lebanese cucumbers. Extra Fluffo says he loves those Lebo cukes. Tim Wilton Davies says the Lebanese flag is the only rectangle with a tree, possibly. I can't picture the Lebanese flag, so I wouldn't be able to comment.
Yes, it does have a tree.
Okay. Any other tree flags going that anyone can think of? Do let us know if you've got any.
I haven't quite enjoyed seeing the Nepal flag, which isn't the only non-rectangular flag in the tournament.
Different shapes are good.
Yeah, a little bit of variety. Some small child, sort of 8 years old or so, has decided that now is the perfect time to have a sleep, despite the fact that the Papare band is going and the Premadasa is full.
You do get them. I briefly described myself as a photojournalist, Knuckle, because I had one photo published on Cricinfo, which is of 2 blokes so drunk that they were just passed out on the Premadasa bleachers.
Indian? English, sorry.
Sri Lankan, actually. Oh. It does get it gets pretty Arak heavy in those low stands on a hot sunny day. I'm sure you know, Bennett.
Yet another spinner into the attack. Ryan Bell bowling his leg break. Starts with an absolute beauty outside off stump, and I think he's got Kusal Mendes.
Got him.
Lovely bowling from Ryan Bell. Tossed up, little bit of drift, bit of turn. Maramani whips off the bails, and Kusal Mendes, I'm pretty sure he's gone. Yeah, they're not even going to go upstairs. So a host of jingles. First for the bowler. And this in honour of the fact that he's taken a wicket with his first ball. Gorgeous bit of bowling from Burl, and nice take from Maramani behind the stumps. Kusal Mendis gone for an unconvincing 14 off 20 balls. Sri Lanka after 12.1 overs, 100 for 2.
Yeah, he took his time, didn't he? 14 of 20, but that was the first ball of the over. I don't think he was trying to do anything adventurous rather than just push it into the covers, but he lost his balance. Good flight, good purchase, and a bit of a rip there from the bowler. From the bowler. First ball, that was magic, wasn't he? To get it right on track.
Yeah, lovely bit of bowling. You're very satisfied with that as a leg spinner. That bit of dip, drawing Mendes forward, and as you say, overbalancing, and the fact that they didn't even go upstairs tells you how out that was. Now, at number 4, Sri Lanka will be hoping that Pratham Nissanka and Pavan Ratnayaka can be anchoring the Sri Lankan batting in all formats for time to come. Another one who wouldn't necessarily have been in the Sri Lanka T20 World Cup squad until pretty recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually drafted in towards the latter part when they decided to drop Dhananjay De Silva and bring him on. Charit Asalanka was also one of the mainstays who was not performing. They brought Pavan Ratnayaka in, but that, and Kamindu Mendis was not even in the scene. So he was brought in as well. Surprisingly, he was not in the scene. But that's been a good addition for Sri Lanka's course.
Ratnayaka trying to drive inside out, can't beat short extra cover. He then makes the universal symbol for that was a leg break to his partner, which I don't think we needed to be told, but nevertheless. Good start this from Ryan Burl.
Yeah, me being a leg spinner myself, it's not very easy to get it right from the go, isn't it?
A little bit too full, and Pavan Ratnayaka picks this up nicely, but well fielded by Dion Myers out there at deep mid-wicket. They come through 4-2. That was a nicely timed pick-up sweep from Pavan Ratnayaka. He's taken a couple of wickets in this tournament. Took a wicket against Australia. Ryan Burl got the wicket of Glenn Maxwell dragging on for 31. Ow! That will have hurt the keeper because Pavan Ratnayaka's bottom edged this, and it's bounced up and hit Maramani under the chin. That is going to be painful, and we're going to take a little bit of time to make sure that the Zimbabwe wicketkeeper Tadiwanashe Maramani is all right. Ouch.
Ryan Burl looks like a crafty operator, isn't he? He's got everything there. The credentials of a good leg spinner, guys.
Yeah, he's 61 wickets, 62 wickets now in 114 T20 internationals. Economy rate of about 7. Doesn't bowl very much in the longer formats, but looks, for a part-time leg spinner, looks very handy indeed.
Yeah, is he part-time? Well, that's more than sort of adequate skills from that side. They've got loads of spinners, haven't they? In their sort of an almost
Pakistan level of spinners, and a good variety as well. You've got Ryan Burl, the leg spinner, that sort of classical leg spinner, Sikandar Raza, who bowls both off breaks and leg breaks, as we've been talking about. Wellington Masakadza, the bowling slow left arm, and Graham Creamer, the leg spinner as well.
He's been there forever, hasn't he, Graham Creamer?
Well, there, and as we were talking about in our previous stint, not there after putting his career on hold for his wife's, and then coming back.
It takes some kind of mental strength to do that kind of stuff at that age, but well done, Graham.
Burl bowls fuller, a little bit too full, and Ratnayaka can just lean onto the front foot and push a single out to the swooping deep mid on.
Interesting passage of play here for Sri Lanka. They've lost their reliable Kusal Mendis. Pavan Ratnayaka, somebody else needs to put their hand up on this occasion. It's been always Nissanka and Kusal Mendis who come to the act. Coming to Mendis, a good opportunity for him today. Let's find out.
Dragged down short from Ryan Burl, and Nissanka tries to get it into the gap between deep mid-wicket and deep square leg, but Dion Myers coming around from mid-wicket does good work to his left, prevents the boundary. Very good first over from Ryan Burl. 5 runs and a beautifully crafted wicket of Kusal Mendis. Sri Lanka 105 for 2.
And we're back up and running on the socials. Pirate Badshah's in the house. Ahoy, old salts and sea dogs. Ahoy, me RT. Extra Fluffo is a maple leaf a tree. Lots of tree chat. We got Lockie says it's part of a tree. Shining Knight reckons anything's a tree if you're brave enough. Tim Wilton Davies saying maple does belong to the sycamore family. Extra Fluffo says Fiji, a coconut tree. There's got to be trees on maps on flags around. Tim saying the flag of Lebanon is one of the few national flags in the world that features a tree, specifically the cedar tree. It is unique in that it's the only flag with a central tree design. Other countries with trees on include Belize, Haiti, Equatorial Guinea and Fiji. Who says... Yeah,
The West Indies, very much not a country. Graham Creamer back into the attack, so leg spin at both ends, and he starts with a lovely delivery which dips and turns away from Pavan Ratnayaka. But I think that unlike Kusal Mendes, he has kept his foot behind the line as the keeper whipped off the bails. We will give a jingle for the returning Graham Creamer.
He's on top.
Hands clasped in silent prayer in the crowd as they go upstairs, but I think that Ratnayaka managed to keep his foot behind the line.
He looked all right to me. All this tree talk has got me wondering, is Sri Lanka the only flag with a lion on it?
Surely
it's got to be.
I mean, it's a big heraldic symbol, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's closer than we thought. I think it's fine.
He actually did
something on.
He did drag his foot a little bit onto the line, but I think he's just managed to press the front spikes of that boot back down behind the line before Marumani was able to get the bails off.
But the bottom bits, Nakul, it's not really, nothing's showing on this side of the line, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, so we're now seeing a three-way split screen. So at the top we've got from front on, and then left and right we've got square on from each side, but yes, a little bit behind the line. Third umpire Ehsan Raza says that is not out, and I think it's the correct decision, but a lovely bit of bowling from Graham Creamer. The Zimbabwe spinners have really put the squeeze on Sri Lanka. They were 61 for 1 after the power play. They're now 105 for 2, 7 and a bit overs later.
Boundary's been in very short supply since the field spread.
As we've been hinting might happen, you take the pace off in this wicket and it's not so easy, and we've not really seen much attempt from the Sri Lankan batters to go down the ground. The Zimbabwean spinners have controlled their length and their flight very well to make that less enticing of an option. A slight delay here where ordinarily Graham Creamer would have bowled at least 2 balls by now, but I think they need to replace the Zing bails.
You feel, Nakul, though, that it can't be too much longer, maybe an over or 2 before Sri Lanka have a real change in tempo and look to go hard through the last 5 or 6?
Yeah, I've seen there've been a lot of scores in the last few days of like 170 for 4. Creamer tosses this one up where Naika does come down the ground, but he can't get it into the gap. Burl hands it off to mid-wicket, who flings the ball back in, and they come through for a couple, which I always think is a massive waste of resources. There's no point in Sri Lanka here being 180 for 4.
And if you lose that game, then it looks really ugly in hindsight.
20 balls since the last boundary. Down the track comes Ratnayaka, who I think he is going to try and find different scoring options rather than just sitting and waiting or sweeping. He pushes a single down the ground.
For the purpose of qualifications, I think both teams are through, but this will give the momentum, won't they? Want it for the teams that's going through with sort of winning this game. I think it's critical.
There's no scenario in which playing well and winning in your last game before you go through is a bad one. Nisanka tries the reverse sweep and it's caught at deep point, or point running back rather. It wasn't quite there for the shot. It wasn't as full as Nisanka thought it was. It got a top edge, and it's a nicely taken catch by the man running back from point. Big top edge from Pathum Nisanka. Zimbabwe's fielding has been outstanding. We saw that phenomenal catch by Tony Munyonga in the game against Australia. That wasn't quite as phenomenal, but it was a good catch nonetheless by the same man, Tony Munyonga, and Pathum Nisanka gone for 62. Sorry.
Pathum has pulled a miracle in the previous game, scored 60% of Sri Lanka's runs almost here. So it's for somebody else to put their hand up today to take them through.
Yeah, and I think you want at some point your middle order, your players your lower middle order to get something out of the game because
what's interesting is, I mean, they got 3 all-rounders, bowling all-rounders, including the skipper. Dushan Hemant is a capable bat who's come instead of Hasaranga. Dunit Velalage is capable too. But Sri Lanka's middle order has always been the talking point. They've not delivered when it mattered most. That's when Sri Lanka have faltered. So this is a good opportunity for them to test that middle order strength as we go into the bigger games.
A very nice catch by Tony Manyonga, turning, watching the ball over his shoulder, and his footwork was so good that he actually made the catch look a lot easier than it was.
Yeah, those are really hard when you've got to run back and judge it over your shoulder, and he made it look very easy. I think probably from a Sri Lankan perspective, with Pathum Nissanka getting out, you knock sort of 15 to 20 off the predicted total. But as you say, Bennett, really good chance for the kind of slightly out of touch middle order to get a bit going. Pavan Ratnayaka's looked good. Kamindu's looked good since he's come back into the side. Dasun Shanaka got a big one against, was it Ireland against Oman?
That's correct. Yeah, he got a 50, didn't he? But Kamindu Mendes didn't get too much time in the middle, but this is an opportunity here for him.
And these are the kind of platforms that these batters want, right? They don't have too many balls to bat, but they've got to go from ball one and see what they can get.
You're trying to restart the innings after a decent start and then a slowdown. You're not coming in a crisis, which is often what's happening when you're a middle order batter coming in relatively early.
Yeah, I mean 108 for 3, still a relatively free hand for these batters, as you touched on, Bennett, with so much depth. What with Will Alagay probably down at 8, Hamantha at 9, plenty of batting to draw upon. So this is the time to chance your arm and see. Well, I think 190's probably gone now, but 180 perhaps.
Hemant at 7 and Velalage at 8, and I think they probably deem Hemant a little bit sort of a who's capable with the bat. But my concern is 9, 10 and 11 are not really up there in terms of batting.
You don't pick your specialist bowlers to be batters. As Graham Creamer starts with a wide. They took drinks, by the way, after that wicket, which is why we were talking so long. And that wide was bowled to this man.
If you boil all he should be.
There's Kamindu Mendes down the track. Early signs of aggression, hacks at it rather, and it's a thick inside edge to the Zimbabwe captain Sikandar Raza at mid-wicket. There is no run.
She's a gypsy, ambidextrous queen.
Last ball of the over from Creamer. Kamindu Mendes waits for it and slaps it out into the leg side. A big chase round from cow corner to more square and mid-wicket from the man on that mid-wicket offence. Wellington Masakadze, they pick up to 6 runs off the over, but the wicket over the dangerous Pathum Nissanka for Graham Creamer. Sri Lanka after 14, 111 for 3.
Yeah, whilst teams don't really pick sort of batters at 9, 10 and 11, I mean, these day and age, we see a lot of bowlers who bat, and that brings the balance out as well, like England playing all the way, like Jofra Archer, Liam Dawson at 10, and Adil Rashid at 11. But on this occasion, these 3 bowlers, unfortunately, are not capable batters, unlike most teams. That was what I was trying to say earlier. Sorry, Nick, come in.
And we're back up and running. Sutahu saying, fuck, this chat is nerdy today. Come get some learning with us in Gorilla Towers. Lockie is saying, shut up, Suter. You've just been spoiled by weeks of Penguin and Muppet talk. Lockie's saying his Siggy investment is looking up. Where are you, Lockie? If you're in England, a Siggy investment fund is no small matter.
Ryan Burl continuing, no surprises after that excellent last over. Again tosses it up outside the off stump. Another Sri Lankan batter trying to sweep Pavan Ratnayaka. I think it's probably too wide for the sweep even before it turned. So there is no run. Lovely control of flight and length by Ryan Burl. Tosses this one up. It might have been an attempted googly. Ratnayaka came down the track and made that point moot, but the bat slightly turns in his hands and he's only able to get 2 down to long on. Tournament Yonga took that very smart catch, and probably the catch of the tournament again in that game against Australia. Phenomenal diving effort on the boundary.
Could watch that over and over.
There have been some good ones in this tournament. But I think that's right up there for me.
He made it look so easy, didn't he?
Pavan Ratnayaka looking very busy. Ryan Bell saw Ratnayaka attempting to charge, threw it wider. Ratnayaka stayed at home, and it ends up being a wide.
Pavan Ratnayaka is one of the better batters and spinners in the Sri Lankan side.
I think Ratnayaka again anticipated that Bell was going to drop it short, that little press forward, and then goes deep in the crease, only gets a single. Inzamam used to do that a lot. He used to tempt bowlers to bowl short out of fear that he would charge.
Yeah, that sense that you're kind of running before the ball's been delivered. But it's the really notable thing about Pavan Ratnayaka's game, right? So decisive with his footwork, almost.
He uses his feet. He uses his feet quite nicely, didn't he? And Kamindu Mendis is also a cool operator for spin.
Full delivery from Ryan Burl, almost a Yorker. Kamindu Mendis has to check what I'm sure was an attempted or an envisaged very aggressive shot and just push a single out to deep square leg. Yeah, the forward press from Pavan Ratnayaka is very, very noticeable against the spinners.
Really pronounced, almost too much so. You can sense him getting himself into a bit of a tangle at times.
But then he does press back nicely onto the back foot. We'll have a change at the end of this over as Ratnayaka works a single. He wants second run, but there is not going to be a second run. Wellington Mazakadza in quickly off the mid wicket boundary. Yeah, Bennett's going to take you through ball by ball for the last 5 overs of the innings, and then it's supposed to be Ed and Will Reynolds. I think we are. I think we are finally quite
ready for a break.
Down the leg side, we'll have to wait another ball because Ryan Burl's bowled it down the leg side. I think yet again trying to get a batter out stumped off a wide, but Kamindu Mendis stays at home.
Wide.
Deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and deep extra cover. The boundary riders. We've got a man on the 45, short third, a backward point, and an extra cover. Quick delivery from Ryan Burl, flung across Kamindu Mendis, and he reads it nicely and powers it down the ground. Long off was quite wide. That went quite straight for 4. First boundary in some time for Sri Lanka. Is that going to light the blue touch by? Yeah, that was the first boundary for 5 overs. And after 15, Sri Lanka 122 for 3. Over to you, Bennett.
Thank you very much. And cheers, everybody who are listening in from wherever you are. Greetings to all. It's Bennett Olagusegram here, along with Bill Reynolds and Ed Mays, taking you to the next 5 overs. An interesting tussle between bat and ball. Sri Lanka winning the toss and choosing to bat. Just over 8 runs and over after a steady start. Have lost their playmaker Pathum Nisanka for 62. Kusal Perera was looking good for 22. And Kusal Mendis unfortunately stumped for 14. It's Kramer ball. This one's over pitch driven by Ratnayaka. Straight back to the ball who couldn't pick up. And the batters go through for a single. Welcome, Will and Ed. How are you today?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm great. Hello, Ed.
Well. Hello, I'm very well, thank you. Good to see you all.
Good to see you all too. Let's get this cracking on. If you're listening through and you want to tell us what you're actually thinking about, what are your forecasts, your thoughts, your comments, keep Ed busy. We want to rock and roll and take you through to the end of the innings and through to the game. It's Kramer. This one's good delivery and he's played it straight back. Kamindu Mendis. It was unfortunate, flighted, and he would try to drive it. And Upishly on this occasion didn't get hold of it and drives it straight into the throat of the bowler who's been caught and bowled. So Kamindu Mendis is out for 7 and Sri Lanka lose their 4 wickets. Are we having anybody in the studio to help us with the jingles? Well, perhaps
I think they're all on a break, so
Yeah,
just imagine jingles.
No problem. Will, talk us through the dismissal, please.
So, I mean, that sort of ballooned up and he managed to kind of catch it around his face, and that was, I mean, really quick reactions. I always worry with those kind of caught and bowled because as a bowler, you don't want to break your fingers, and a lot of the time that can happen.
But it's almost you're almost taking evasive action, aren't you, Ed? On that occasion, he's coming towards you, and you're putting your hand as a more of evasive protection. Ed,
I thought it might have been a bump ball because there's just no reaction. They just kind of sauntered off.
No, because that was so obvious, I guess, for them there. But not for us watching. But Sri Lanka were in all kinds of trouble. Kaminda Mendes had a great opportunity here to stake his claim. Was known for this kind of batting for a while. He had an opportunity with the overs in. Unfortunately, didn't capitalize on that. We have Dasun Shanaka, the skipper. Again, a good chance for him with less than 5 overs left. It's Pavan Ratnayaka, the new find of Sri Lankan batting on the other side on 11. Sri Lanka on around 8 runs and over. Not that great on the back foot. Of course, Dasun Shanaka stamping his authority with a nice little square drive towards the point area, and the batters go through for a single. So we've got Dushan Hemantha, the capable all-rounder, who's up next. Dunit Vellalage is also no mark with the bat, and then the bowlers Mahesh Tikshana, Dishan Madhushang and Pramod Madhushan. So they're not really known much for the exploits with the bat. And this one's driven, and almost another charge. He may have got him run out there. He hit that back strongly towards the bowler, who got a hand to it. I think it was a catch that went to begging. So he's lucky to be there. Shanaka Ratnayaka was outside his crease, but before he really got to break the stumps there, I think he had enough time to come back. A very close call on both sides, Will.
Yeah, really close. That was absolute carnage for a second there. But he was well in, I think, and
both batters could have been out at some point in that delivery. So Kramer, you can't stop putting his hand out. 39-year-old Kramer, who's been there for a while. He took some time away from cricket. He's come back strongly here. Zimbabwean spinners certainly proving a pointer short and pulled away towards the deep square leg area. So Shanaka living dangerously, and Pavan Ratnayaka is lucky to survive that run out at the bowlers, and Sri Lanka is trying to break free. Boundaries not there for the taking. This one was hit uppishly on the bounce to the fielder there again. Shanaka, this is the time for him to show some of his skills that is known for. Down the pitch goes Pavan Ratnayaka, takes the ball on the full and drives it to his long off, and the batters go through for a single at the end of over number 16. Sri Lanka winning the toss, 127 for 4. And over to you, Ed, for the socials.
Yes, we've got Sam1430 says walk in the park for Zimbabwe. If they have 4 more good overs, then you could see that being the case. Extra Fluffo says creamed it, spelt akin to the bowler's name there, very good. And he says cream egg's too small now, as Sutu says Krispy Kreme or cream egg. Loki 22-8-10 says this 5 overs finish tells how Sri Lanka handles pressure, and then Shining Knight and how their middle order can perform, which is a great point because we've seen so much the openers do a lot of the damage. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys in the middle handle a situation like this.
I think that's a key point, Ed, because most often, the last T20, India was like soaring through with their top order scoring runs, but in the finals they lost wickets and the middle order was exposed. This one's is Rasa, the skipper bowling. He hides his ball, flies out to the off, some Pavan Ratnayaka dancing down the track. He actually didn't come to the pitch of the ball. He got a slight thick inside edge going towards the fine leg area, and the batters go through for a single. So Sri Lanka not looking convincing, Will.
No, definitely not. They're having a sort of panicky 5 minutes.
Rasa bowls short, quicker, different type of action there, and he's keeping the batters guessing on the back foot, pushed into the covers, and the batters go through for a single. Single's not going to help the cause for Sri Lanka. Need some big shots, but Rasa sort of mixing the bowling, keeping the batters guessing, keeping them at bay. Sri Lanka batters looking to break free, and Zimbabwe certainly says that's a no ball call. So this could be a break free from jail here for Sri Lanka, as it's a free hit, Will.
Yeah, I mean, you have to say that Zimbabwe have been the sort of surprise package of the tournament. You know, they've really kind of done a number on a number of teams, and so Sri Lanka, you know, have that.
Rasa bowls this time square arm, Malinga-like look-alike, and he picks this one, plays it uppishly towards long on the bounce. For a moment, I thought the long on was in the equation, but the batters have ample time to go through for a single. Pawan Ratnayaka being drafted into the squad quite late.
I think it was caught there, but it was a free hit.
Oh, it was a free hit. Yes, it was. Thank you, Ed.
I think it went on the full.
It went on the full. That was a free hit, but it was caught, but no damage done. In the 17th over, Ratnayaka couldn't get that over. That was the intention. Rasa is bowling his 4th over, has bowled well within himself, 26 conceded. Blessing Muzarani, 2 overs, 1 for 18. Masakatsa, none for 23. This one's on the leg side, flicked away by Pawan Ratnayaka. There's no fielder there. They put a stop to it inside the boundary, but the batters have enough time to come back for 3. Sri Lanka slowly picking up, 135 for 4. 3 runs on that. Good fielding. He stops that, but there's no fielder there to pick it up from the other side. But the extra run taken as the ball was flipped away. Good fielding there by the fielder. I believe he's the one who took the catch earlier, Munyanga. And Razabo square arm, on a shorter length. On the back foot goes Shanaka, plays towards the short, fine leg kind of an area. And the batters can only get 1. So good, tidy over in these conditions so far. Just the 1 ball remaining.
Yeah, really, really tidy. But I mean, they've been very efficient in the field and in their bowling.
Rasa bowls this one to Googly, but he picks it equal to the task, and he hits it high and long above the mid-wicket area. Pawan Ratnayaka picked that really, really well. That was a quick, kind of a googly, offish kind of a break, and Pawan Ratnayaka deposits this over the mid-wicket. The first 6 in a long, long time at the end of over number 17, 142 for 4. Ed, what are our listeners saying?
Not a huge amount. Sutu says, cat has just mauled my hand. Send help or a baguette. Hope you're okay. We've got Tim Wilton Davies. Andrew Mountbatten cakes are delicious. Lockie 6. Raza is bowling dart frogs. It's got a very strange action. I do love it.
But it's got strange actions for every ball, isn't it? It's not just... Yeah, anything else said? But then as
that's a lot for now.
Come back, thank you. Keep us busy. Keep Ed busy. Again, don't forget the super chats. As you all know, this is a voluntary thing that we're doing, and there's a lot of cost involved. The super chats can, go towards that. Go towards the worthy cause. Pawan Ratnayaka is the key to Sri Lanka on this occasion. He's looking good, 23 off 70. None of the batters looking to break free well.
No, they really are all playing very much within themselves, and somebody needs to do something.
Oh, indeed. That's so new over commencing now. Sri Lanka's got 18 balls remaining. The batters to come: Dushan Hemanta, Dunit Vellalage, Matish Tikshana, Dishan Madhushanka, and Pramod Madhushan. So 2 changes. Sri Lanka deciding to rest Chamira, the premier fast bowler, caught bowling him and keeping him for the Super 8s, and Pramod Madhushan taking his place. Dilshad Madhushanka, who was the player who was replaced Pathirana. Unfortunately, as you come back, Dasun Shanaka is out. He's been caught in the deep by the fielder there as he decided to loft this one over the square leg area. So Sri Lanka unfortunately lose their 5th wicket at the 18th over. Will,
I mean, it was quite a regulation catch, kind of just backward of square, and I think it just shows where Sri Lanka are. I think in their batting today, they've just been very kind of lax, and that, I mean, it was a good ball, but it wasn't kind of anything wildly special, I think. So it also means that we're on a hat-trick ball.
Indeed, because Muzarabi, he got the wicket of Kusal Perera off the last ball of his over. Kusal Perera was looking good. Kusal Janit, but everyone knows what he's capable of. Unfortunately, for Sri Lanka, they've lost their skipper. It was a good opportunity for him to make a mark on today's game. The new batter is Dunit, the highly talented and skilled young Dunit Velalage, who's taken Sri Lanka out to the woods on many occasions. He was a former under-19 Sri Lanka captain. He's played some great innings, not only with the bat, but he's also contributed with the ball and a very capable fielder. Muzrani bowls shortish. Welcome to the crease. That was awkward.
Yeah.
Or an awkward bounce, Will.
Yeah, that really kind of was a sort of a fairly aggressive welcome, and in a weird sort of way, although he doesn't get the hat trick, that definitely kind of is a way to wake up, I suppose.
Indeed, Sri Lanka's just over 8 runs and over. It's they got Dushan Hemant to come, and then the bowlers not much renowned for their batting. So Sri Lanka struggling. Who can take them away in this, or is Zimbabwe on top? Outside the off stump, this is pushed, glided towards the third man area, and the batters have ample time to go through for a single. In the bowling, Srikant Rasa, 4 overs, none for 36. Muzarabi, who's bowling now, 2 for 19, good spell from him. Masakatsa, none for 23 off 3. Brad Evans, none for 19 off 2. Graham Creamer, 2 for 17, and Ryan Burl captured the important wicket of Kusal Mendes. I think that was the turning point for me, Will. Kusal Mendes being sort of out, because he is the one that steadies the middle order, keeps them together, and that is much short. Outside the off stump, bit of a lack in pace, but nicely pulled away between the deep square leg and the deep wicket area, and the fielder, they're unable to put a stop to that, and that's another welcome boundary, Will, for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they need a lot more of that, really, but as you say, they've lost their kind of linchpin to build an innings around, and they all seem a little bit at sea. But you know, a boundary's a boundary, and you don't want to sort of sniff at it.
147 for 5, 2 overs and 2 balls to go. Can they reach around 180? This one's short again. He tries to go on the back foot. It's outside the off stump on a good length, climbing away, and he tries to hike it towards the onside. Didn't get hold of that. So Pawan Ratnaik looking to manufacture a shot here. He's trying to use the pace and play it away. Unfortunately, not getting bat on ball. Pawan Ratnaik is not a hard hitter. He's more placed with the field, doesn't he, Will?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's just a sort of move the field around kind of player.
He does that again. Outside the off stump, glides this beautifully. Sorry, Will, into the third man area, and the batters get 1. So at the end, that was 6 runs coming off that over. So not a good comeback after the boundary. 3 overs, 2 for 24. Sri Lanka 148 for 5. Will, what have you got to say before it comes in?
I think that's definitely a sort of, he's managed to pull that over back. But yeah, I think it's been decent. Ed, what's going on socials?
What have we got? We've got more Andrew chat, which I might move away from. Loki22, a pitch is slow, 160 to 170 is defendable for Sri Lanka, but Zimbabwe needs to utilise the power play to the maximum. Middle overs, it's difficult to score. I agree, we see a lot of surfaces like that where the best chance is right at the start, and early wickets can really skip at that. Zimbabwe target 170, says Jamil Durrani. I think 170 will be a good effort. It'll be, 22 more from the last 2? If they can do that, that'd be very good.
At this moment in time, it seems like a Herculean-like task to where Sri Lanka is going. Is Evans come back with his medium paces, over-pitched, and Ratnaik gives him some room and drives it towards the deep extra cover area. The batters have time to come back for 2. The fielder there, Munianga, he's excellent, hasn't he? He's pulled off some great
they've
catches.
been really good in the field. Their sort of tightness in the field.
In terms of wickets, Muzaramdi is up there. He's got 9 wickets, joint second with Varun Chakravarti in this tournament. Van Skalsquick has got 13. So he's the highest wicket taker in the tournament. So as Evans comes in, this over pitch is for a full length at least. And Pawan Ratnakar, as I was saying before, always likes using the pace and playing with the field. He goes nicely and hoiks this one over. It's an unusual shot, Will, over the wicketkeeper, right onto the stands, and that's a 6. It's more like a scoop, but not exactly scoop. But I don't know what to describe
sort
that,
of
Will.
a whippy scoop type thing, yeah.
First time I've seen that. Ed, have you seen that? What can you call that shot, Ed?
That is a bit odd. I'm not. It's kind of like it's so slow that you couldn't really do much else with it by the time I got to him.
It's like a sweep scoop, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, nevertheless, no one cares. It's the runs that matter. 6 runs. Pawan Ratnakar looking to break free. He wants to break free with the Queen. I want to break free. Can he do that for Sri Lanka? This one short, and again he pulls this one short, and he pulls it beautifully, majestically this time over and wide over the deep square leg area for 2 sixes in a row. What a knock this turning out to be. 2 sixes in a row. 160 for 5. The run rate creeping out closer to 9 now. We cannot seen those exploits from Pawan Ratnakar before, but he's capitalizing on that, proving his worth, trying to take Sri Lanka into some sort of respectability after the news, after Zimbabwean spinners have put a halt to the run scroll here. Will.
Yeah, I think that first one was a 4, though.
This once again nicely placed, and that's placed beautifully, meticulously placed, precisely between deep cover and long off. No fielder there. He's playing with the field, lofted, and goes on to the boundary there. So 2 sixes and a boundary here, and he swiftly moves up to 44 off 24, 16 off 3. Well,
I mean, really great batting, but also, do you really think that sort of a very military medium is the person to go to in your 18th over?
Mediocre bowling as well, isn't it? This once again shot again. He's this one on the back foot, and he succumbs to his exploits as it's hit uppishly straight into Kramer's hands. Sri Lanka unfortunate to lose. Pawan Ratnakar was looking good. He was trying to slice that one between the keeper and the short third man. He almost got it, but Kramer's bucket hands, that's what he got. They're straight into the hands, and Pawan Ratnakar is unfortunately out in the 19th over. Will.
What a wild over. It's sort of absolute ups and downs and kind of a bit of everything, yeah. But a very quick 44. That's done a little bit for Sri Lanka to kind of give them a more respectable score.
He's got Sri Lanka into some respectability, Ed, do you reckon?
Yeah, it feels like 170, 180 would be strong and a tough ask for Zimbabwe, but you never know. I will say we've seen a lot of catches go to that area this tournament.
Yeah,
seems like,
and it's,
definitely.
Exactly, and 7 balls remaining. Pawan Ratnakar with the 16 runs has got Sri Lanka into some respectability. Dushar Hemant is known for his batting, on more renowned for his leggies. He did very well coming into this squad in place of the giant Wanindu Hasaranga. He's done really well. In the last game, he picked up useful wickets, and he looked like he was ready for the big stage. Evans, just 1 ball to go. What can he do with his medium paces? Over pitched, and he's lofted this one. He's lofted it straight into the hands of Brian Bull and the long on area. Unfortunate, Hemant couldn't get the elevation, so Sri Lanka lose 2 in 2, and Hemant out without troubling the scorers. Well,
absolutely mad over. That's 10, 16 off it and 2 wickets. That's madness.
It's such a shame Sri Lanka couldn't capitalise on that, Will.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly, I'm just actually
dumbfounded
lost
for words. I'll let you recap your thoughts. It's the end of over number 19. Ed, have you got anything from our listeners to keep us going?
Yeah, we got Loki again. Thank you for your comments. I love when teams bowl well on the death overs. We've seen a pretty strong effort here from Zimbabwe. Loki 6, nothing like I planned. Siggy slipping right through my hand. Yeah, it's been an interesting game. It's interesting that both these teams are into the Super 8s, and they're very well matched, I think. Or at least on this occasion.
Definitely are.
Well, Well said, Ed. It's evenly matched because it seems like when the momentum is shifting, they just draw it back again. It's one way or the it's like a tug of war, isn't it? You pull one side, and the next side comes is Matish Tikshana, who's come in. Velalage is now on strike. 6 balls remaining. He's known for his exploits. Can he bring some more respectability? 180 will be a commanding score, as I said earlier on in my commentary. Dushan Hemanta, unfortunately, it's not easy to come in and try to get the long handle going. A little bit more elevation there would have helped him clear the rope there. But Muzarani, who's the joint second wicket taker in the tournament, who was on a hat-trick earlier, has got 2 for 24, is entrusted with the last over. Here he is, short on the back foot, goes Velalage. Beautiful looking shot. He was on his toes.
Really lovely shot.
He got right up on top of it and slashed that one over the cover area for a glorious boundary well.
That was it was such a lovely shot. It was honestly, certainly the nicest looking shot of our spell.
Indeed.
He has such quick hands.
Indeed, and he knew because the bowler was bowling a short of a length and getting a bit of bounce, wasn't he? And he was equal to start. This one's over pitched, and he drives handsomely between cover and extra cover. There's a bit of fielding to be done in the deep extra cover boundary, as the batters have ample time to come back for 2. It's again Munionga who's patrolling the boundary there. So 2 runs brings Velalage back on strike. He's 7 off 4. Sri Lanka moving steadily on to 170. They've got 4 balls remaining. Can they get as much as they can? Muzrani is the bowler. Velalage. And the batters for Sri Lanka, Pathum Nisanka, 62 was the mainstay. Kusal Pereira, 22. He looked good before he was taken out. This one shot outside the leg stump, and Velalage giving room, moving away and trying to lift this one towards fine leg, because there was a lot of movement by Velalage. No wide given. Velalage questioning that, and clever bowling by Muzabrani. And the umpires are reviewing this. Sikandar Rasa also there. You go to this. Just to run you through, Sri Lanka choosing to bat today. A good opening partnership by Pathum Nisanka and Kusal Pereira, before Kusal Pereira was out for 22. They're reviewing this to see if there's any edge there as we speak. And there's a clear gap as we speak between bat and ball. And it continues to do so. So Sri Lanka, I would say, looking rather nervously at the replays. Was there any edge whatsoever on that? And I think safe to say that Sri Lanka will breathe a deep sigh of relief. So it was Kusal Pereira was out 22. Kusal Mendes and Pathum Nisanka, the duo, the deadly duo who brought Sri Lanka into a lot of respect in the past. Unfortunately, Kusal Mendes was stumped of a beautiful delivery by Brian Burl that paved the way for the middle order to be exposed. Kamindu Mendes was out for 7, Dasu Chanak out for 6, and Pawan Ratnayake brought some stability in the middle with a quick 44 off 25. So here it is. Now it's Dunit Velalage, 7 off 5, 3 balls remaining. Muzabrani, who is the joint second wicket high taker, can he add to his tally to go up to the second place, beating Varun Chakravarti, who's jointly with him on 9. It was right ball, shortish, and he took a lot of pace off that. Clever bowling there. He's bowling at 67 miles per hour, Will, after bowling in the 80s previously. Velalage playing all over it, and the right intentions, looking to cut him on the offside, but not able to get on top of that. The bounce and the pace dying on him. So 2 dot balls, Will.
Yeah,
good bowling.
taking 15 miles an hour off that delivery. That's a serious skill, and he's done really well there.
Absolutely. Muzrani bowls over pitched and is driven this one beautifully past the cover point field for a boundary to just capitalize on the first 2 balls of the over. It's 11 off 7 for Velalage. 1 more ball remaining, Will.
That is the perfect reply. If you're Sri Lankan, that's what you want. sort of beaten by a decent ball the ball before, and then dispatched to the boundary.
So 174 for 7. Ed, what do you think? Last ball. Can Sri Lanka get a 6 to finish?
6 gets to 180. That would be a good way to end.
Oh, and he plays this one nicely over the short finally. Close one.
Close
there.
enough.
Close enough. But again, as predicted before, it's a boundary. So a good over for Sri Lanka in the end. 18 runs coming off that of last over. Zimbabwe set a target of 179, almost 180. Sri Lanka bringing some stability and not stability, respectability to the score after being quite choked in the middle overs by the spinners. So I've already run through the scorecard before in case you're wondering what happened. Sri Lanka won the toss, deciding to bat 178 for 7. Pathu Misanka 62, Pawan Ratnak 44. A bit of impetus at the end by Welala gave a 15 of 8. In the bowling, we had Muzramdi 2 for 38, Brad Evans 2 for 35, Graham Creamer 2 for 27, and I think Ryan Burl taking the price wicket of Kusal Mendes 1 for 16. So we're going to take a short break, but before that, I'll let you, Will, kind of give a quick kind of your thoughts, and then Ed, if there's anything to run down on the media side.
Well, I think Sri Lanka have done pretty well to catch up, particularly over our spell, because when we came on, I thought they were in some fairly serious strife, and they've managed to battle back for a respectable score that is definitely defendable, and I think we've got a bit of a game on.
Indeed. Ed, anything from the media's front?
Not really. We've got people talking about women's prisons, so it might be time to do the interval break.
Fantastic. It's lovely to have you all tuned on again for the second innings. Thank you, Will and Ed. I enjoyed that immensely.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing you all, viewers and listeners, in the second session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Arm angle has really hurt Sri Lanka. So yeah, if that could be a banana skin. I think you get a bit of a feel like you do with England, that the team's slightly less than the sum of their parts.
And you could also possibly argue the kind of fixtures have fallen from them earliest, because are they beaten Ireland and Oman, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think we also saw this morning that Oman are no great shakes.
I think
no pun intended.
Oman didn't look fantastic, did they, today? And so, the tough cricket is still to come for Sri Lanka. But, I think you'd expect them to make it to the Super 8s and not go any further than that. I think they have really kind of fallen behind the curve in the last decade.
Yeah, I think that might well be true. Let's talk about the Associate Nations generally. There's adding colour to the tournament or cannon fodder? Kind of a bit of both. What do we think?
I'd say a bit of both, but definitely adding colour, and the more and more they play in tournaments like this, the less cannon fodder you'd assume they're going to be.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
Exactly that. I think, no one wants to be the team that loses to an associate nation in one of these tournaments, right? USA beat Pakistan in the last one. England came close to losing Nepal in this one. It's always the banana skin you want to avoid. But as a fan, and when your team's not playing, I'm always rooting for the underdog. I've been rooting for Namibia this afternoon to beat India. India were in all sorts of fucking trouble, weren't they, against the USA the other day? It was only that Sky scored 80 odd that got into a reasonably, competitive score. If he'd have gone, and they dropped him as well, if I remember rightly, the spinner dropped him on a caught and bowled, and he was on about 15 at the time. And they got him then, India would have been all out for about 110, and you'd imagine that they'd have actually lost that game. And they weren't playing Bumrah as well. They gave him a day off, presumably because he was either injured, probably not, but they thought, well, the USA will wallop them. Some of these associate teams do have some half-decent players, and if they have, again, I go back to the fact that T20 can be a bit of a lottery. If teams go out against an associate nation thinking, well, their bowlers are a bit subpar, and we're just going to smash them out of the park, play a few rash shots, get caught on a boundary, bowled, stumped, run out because they're going for a stupid run, and end up sort of 4 down for 40 or something after 6 overs. can wallop them. And, you know, some of these associate teams do have some half-decent players, and if they have, you know, again, I go back to the fact that T20 can be a bit of a lottery. I mean, if teams go out against an associate nation thinking, well, their bowlers are a bit subpar and we're just going to smash them out of the park, play a few rash shots, get caught on a boundary, bowled, stumped, run out because they're going for a stupid run, and end up sort of 4 down for 40 or something after 6 overs, couple of mistakes can cost you dearly. For going from there, it slows down the scoring rate. You might only get to 150, 160, and on a good day, some of these teams will chase it down. So there's always a little bit of jeopardy in there for the bigger sides playing these associate nations, and by playing the bigger sides, they will get better. They'll probably haul in more ex-pros from ex-countries by various nefarious means of association, and you'll get Liam Plunkett could have qualified for the USA, couldn't he, in the last World T20. He decided not to because he was I think he was 40 then, but you know, he'd have been a good player for the USA to have going into a T20.
I'm with you. I think it's always good to have an underdog to root for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which would have been the USA against India in a normal world. Unfortunately, we're not in a normal world, so
yeah,
go India, batter them, but they.
Although, you know, as we know, they're all going to be deported by ICE when they go home, so we can still treat them as the underdog.
Especially if they bring disgrace on the country by getting battered completely, although they did put in a decent show. It's interesting when you look at the table, actually. You know, the bottom of Group A is Namibia and US. You'd expect that. Bottom of Group B, Ireland and Oman, you'd expect that. Group C is more interesting. Okay, you'd probably expect Nepal and Italy, but Scotland right up there. Are they going to do a Denmark? Surely not.
Well, you know, who did they batter? Was it Italy? Wasn't
Italy.
it? Yeah, I mean,
who are in turn thumping Nepal, who ran England so close.
Well,
Crazy.
exactly, but this means Nepal have lost 2, right? Italy would have only lost 1. Italy lost to Scotland. Is that right? I might have just said that, didn't I?
Yeah, that.
Never mind.
So Italy have got to play England and India. I mean, England and who's the other top team? West Indies. You'd imagine that those 2 teams beat Italy, so they end up on 1 win. Scotland have got to beat either the West Indies or England, and they've got a chance of qualifying.
Yeah,
and it could all come down to net run rate then.
Scotland will have some revenge on their mind after the game they probably thought they should have won 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, it was an easy pitch to bat on, wasn't it? They scored 200. But again, as we said, you know, chasing 200 is never bloody easy.
I mean, the other group, UAE and Canada, are the bottom 2, as much as we want Canada to do. Well, they've only played 1 game each, mind. But those are all sort of shaping up, I suppose, as you might expect. Nick, generally speaking, can anyone stop India, or is it all just a scramble to see who comes runners-up?
I think you'd have to say that India are overwhelming favourites, T, right? But we probably would have said that for most of the global tournaments over sort of the last decade, and they only broke their duck, didn't they, at the last T20 World Cup? So, as Bear said, T20 cricket can turn into a bit of a lottery. If Australia or South Africa have a good day and score 230, I definitely think they can beat India in a one-off. So, yeah, big favourites, but I don't think untouchable.
No.
Well, they're saying they've got injury and an illness crisis, but they're playing Namibia this afternoon. And to put that into context, in the warm-up game, Namibia got absolutely battered by India A. So
yeah, well,
so,
yeah, I mean,
so I don't think we'd necessarily be expecting expecting. I beg your pardon.
I mean, you kind of hope that India decide to bowl first, and it's over quite quickly. You know, they bowl out Namibia for 90.
That would be ideal.
And then knock it off in 5 overs, 6 overs. You know, but it seems to me that when bigger teams play the little teams, they decide to bat first, almost to lengthen the game. It's almost like there's an ICC backhander saying, if you win a toss, you've got to fucking bat because we want this to go 40 overs. It's just like, nah, really? I kind of like a cheap game here and there. And there have been a few cheap games. I mean, this is 11 overs now. Italy are now 111 for none after 11. Both our openers have scored 50. The Mosca brothers.
Yeah.
And they require 13 off 12 now, 53 deliveries. So Okay.
Well, what about Australia now? They claim, it's a different looking Australia squad in some cases, isn't it? I mean, look at the players. Let's have a look at that Australian squad.
Looks very light to me.
Well, it does.
Do you think they're on the bowling?
You say
It's
that.
very light on both sides to me, but then that's because none of them seem to be international stars, do they? But I mean, I guess this is the thing about T20.
I think the batting's still quite good with, Marshhead, Maxwell, Stoinis, David, quite a lot of power in that top 7.
There is some of them not necessarily in the finest touch. Maxwell had a pretty shabby big
and
batter, I think.
It looks really different, doesn't it, without Stark, Cummins, and I know Hazelwood's back for the Super 8s if they get there. But
Hello, Arnav, welcome.
those 3 not being
How
there
are you
feels
today?
strange.
Hi,
Yeah.
Bennett. Morning. All good.
Very good, very good. Just in case you're tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, this is Arnav and Bennett, who will be joined by the Bear, who will keep us company for the first 5 overs of this inning. So Sri Lanka up to some respectability, 178 for 7 after a good start. The Zimbabwean spinner certainly had the choke on the Sri Lankan batters, Arnav.
Absolutely, but still it was nice to see the heroes from the last game, Ratnayake and Patum Nisanka. They still top scored and played well, so it was nice to see them get in.
It
Obviously,
was indeed.
Unfortunate they didn't have much support to get them to 200, which they would have thought is an ideal score.
They didn't indeed. Hello, Bear.
Hello,
Welcome.
Bennett. All right, Arnav, how are you, mates?
Hi, Bear.
We are great, and we are looking for a great first couple of sessions here. Keen tussle between bat and ball. 178. Is that a respectable score, Bear? Is it a winning score?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Zimbabwe were expected to get through, were they? To be honest, and they have managed to get through due to the fact that Australia was so crap.
I think Zimbabwe are going to give a good fight for their money.
I think they're going to be the whipping boys. I've got to be honest. I think they're quite lucky. I mean, had they not had that rain out, I think they would have been quite tense in both of these games.
I haven't followed the Zimbabwean matches, unfortunately, as much as I would have liked to. Arnav, your thoughts?
Oh, I saw the match against Australia, and I think the start is the key, as you mentioned. So, Marumani is the aggressor, in my opinion, because he's got the circus shots, he plays the ball behind the wicket, the scoops and everything. Let's see how he gets along.
In case you just joined in, Sri Lanka won the toss, got up to 178 for 7, a bit of a middle order choke there, with the Zimbabwean spinner certainly putting a strangle on the Sri Lankan middle order, but they got to some respectivity with a well-compiled 44 from Pawan Ratnayake. Is Madhushanka, who's come into the squad and straight away into the team on the leg stump, tucks this one away towards the square leg area, and the batters get a quick single. So Madhushanka has come in place of Pathivrana, who was injured in the previous game. He's straight away got into the lineup. Sri Lanka choosing to rest Chamira and given Pramod Madhushan a chance. Come in, Bear.
I'm just going to play some jingles for the people who are out there.
Just a regular, everyday Zimbabwean. His name's Brian Bennett, motherfucker. Sometimes face tests, but not often. His name's still Brian Bennett, motherfucker.
Oh, nice. Like that one.
That's my name.
That's you.
Interesting. So is Marumani, as Anna mentioned, he's supposed to reckon with on the back foot goes Marumani, watchful as he sort of glides this one towards the gully area, and the batters go through for a single. So the good steady start by the Zimbabweans, Bear.
Yeah, I think it's always worth having a look. I mean, 179 isn't the hugest total, but these Sri Lankan wickets, big boundaries.
But Sri Lanka haven't got their main three bowlers, Chamira, Pathivrana, Vanindu Hasaranga.
Yeah, well, Hasaranga, I mean, whilst everyone rates him, that was good ball.
That was good delivery. He was trying to play on the off stump, didn't know much about that. He got an inside edge in the bat, and the ball goes through towards the mid-on area. No damage done, but good first over so far, Bear.
Yeah, always good time to bowl at the top with the new ball. And if you can keep it tight, I mean, Sri Lanka got away massively, didn't they? In power play, they were 60 or 58 or something after 6 overs. So, and
bulk of the go on, Ben.
Well, I was going to say it's harder to score in the middle overs.
It is indeed, especially with the spinners being operation. I mean, there's 3 quality spinners in the Sri Lankan setup. As Madhushanka bowls a wild swing outside the off stump by Bennett. He was nowhere near the line of the ball, more in anticipation there. He's lucky he didn't get a touch. Either he could have got an edge or he could have flown through, as we see in these days. This left armour, he was a good addition to the Sri Lankan team for a while. He had some injuries. Unfortunately, lost his place when he was injured and couldn't find his form as he came back. There was some contemplation whether Wanindu Hasaranga, who was ruled out, can make a comeback, but he was deemed not fit enough to make it. Arnav, back in the squad.
Sorry, who were you talking about?
Sorry, Wanindu
Hasaranga. I was just reading the comments. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's fine. You prepare for your thing. Not to worry. So, Bear, there was some conversation around Wanindu Hasaranga were deciding to sort of the Sri Lankan board trying to bring him back, but that he was not fit enough. It's on the back foot, pushed again towards the square leg area. The batters go through for a single.
Yeah, what during the against England? You mean beforehand?
No. But after he was injured and ruled out, but once Pathirina was injured, they were trying to bring Wanindu Hasaranga back into the squad as a replacement, injury replacement, but he was not deemed as fit enough again, so they went with Madhushanka instead. The left arm was bowling now. Anyway, so 3 runs to the score. Zimbabwe chasing a target of 179, and this one's again didn't know much about that. Marumani, so good first over, playing it back to the ball. A good first over there. Just 3 runs gone, and the opener still at the wicket. Anna, what have we got from our listeners?
Yeah, so Loki says pitch is slow. 162, 170 is defendable for Sri Lanka, but Zimbabwe needs to utilize the power play to get the maximum in the middle overs. It's difficult to score. I think I agree because, as Bear said, that Sri Lanka were off to a flyer. They got 60 odd runs in the power play, so I think Zimbabwe will need to match that or be somewhere close to that to be competitive.
Yeah, and I just don't think they'll do it. But you know, that's me.
they were unable to change the gears against Australia, as you saw.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just think it's they are. I don't think they're up there. I think they're going to be the whipping boys in the when it comes down to it.
As always, I like to have a different opinion to Bear,
I know you
which
do.
I love doing. As much as I'm a Sri Lankan supporter, I love to see Zimbabwe doing well. They deserve to be here because they fought hard. They have upset some other sides, and it'll be a good place for them to show their skills with a good, talented sort of a squad. This one's driven into the extra cover area, and the batters get a single. So Pramod Madhushan played in a couple of games initially before being... It was misfielded by Theekshana there, in fact, letting the ball slip through his legs. So not ideal, given the situation. It's a good... Both these teams have got into the Super 8. How did they finalise the fixtures without knowing who's going to top this group?
Well, Nakul said that earlier. Apparently, all the teams were seeded pre-tournament.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Like you would have thought there was some sort of, like rankings before. Anyway, this one's down the leg. Madhushan struggling with the right hand, left hand combination. And down the leg, wide call. Sorry, back on.
Yeah, so they were all pre-seeded, or due to their rankings, and that's how the Super 8s were supposed to be organised. And then any associate who replaced one of the seeded teams basically took their place, so they basically had the Super 8s organised along the lines of what they are now. And say Pakistan had gone out to whoever was in the USA would have taken Pakistan's place.
Indeed, I mean that's very unusual kind of way that's being done. But anyway, that's what the rules are, I guess. Very unusual, whereas I'm concerned. I don't know about you guys, but driven towards the mid-off area, and there is no chance of run. Yeah, I mean losing Pathirina was a big blow for Sri Lanka. He's been their death bowler. He's been their wicket taker right up front. The one that the oppositions mostly fear. Bear, the fear factor.
Yeah, we were discussing this in the first innings. He can either be really frugal and dangerous, or he could spray it about a bit and get knocked for a lot of runs in a couple of overs.
But in this series, he's looked good, hasn't he, in this tournament?
Well, at times, and at other times he has been sprung, you know.
Indeed. Madhushan short ball, and Marumani on the back foot slashes this one between the wake and short third man and cover point area for a boundary. The first boundary of the innings.
It's me, Senshi.
Yeah, that was a poor ball, wide, allowed him to free his arms.
First boundary of the innings. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, yeah, up and over, backward point. Poor ball.
Yes, indeed, yeah. He was trying to bring the ball in to try and get some swing, but it was too short for the liking. So Sri Lanka scored 178 for 7. In case you're wondering what happened, Zimbabwe currently are 9 without loss to 170 runs required for victory. This one's outside the off stump on a fuller length, and Marumani goes across the line and picks this one towards the deep square leg area. A bit of a fumble there, but the batters have enough time to come back for 2. So Sri Lanka, Pathum Nisanka gained the top score. He's almost scoring about 65% of his runs right up when he got out. Welcome past 62. Kusal Perera looked like he was getting back into form before he was out for 22. Pavan Ratnayaka brought some stability in the middle order with a quick 44 of 25, and Dunit Ballalagi did very well to bring some impetus to finish the Sri Lankan innings and bring them onto some respectability. As is Madhushan trying to finish this over short, lacking in line and direction. Poor bowling here by Madhushan is flicked away past the short fine leg area comfortably by Marumani for a boundary.
4. F-O-R.
That was another poor ball. Down leg side, no pace, easy to get away. Fields up, only 2 people out. You can't be bowling there, can you?
Madhushan not really helping the cause for Sri Lanka and letting the pressure slip away. There's 2 easy boundaries being picked up. Sri Lanka will do well to keep it tight. The percentage of Sri Lanka winning is 56. Zimbabwe got 44% as per the polls. And a last ball of the over coming up. And this one's driven, come straight back to the ball. Didn't get hold of it. The end of over number 2. 15 for no loss. Arnav, what have we got from our listeners? Keep your comments coming in, guys. Keep Arnav busy. Keep us entertained and engaged.
I was just going to say, the comments, we need some more comments going because it's been quite slow so far. There's not much since the last one, honestly. It's
a quiet game. It's a dead rubber, isn't it? You know, it's
yeah, unfortunately.
It all gets going again on Saturday when the Super 8 start. And tomorrow we're covering bloody Australia in a totally dead rubber against Namibia. I'm kind of hoping Namibia beat them.
That'd be interesting. Everybody wants to see the back of Australia, right?
Absolutely.
It's Oman, I think.
Is it Oman? Even better.
They've been so good in international games. They've been so good in international tournaments. They should understand how it feels like not making it.
Well, they've got a shit team, haven't they, really?
Madhushanka bowls and he was looking to go across and play towards the fine leg, but Madhushanka equal to the task and bowling it way outside the off stump. He decides to just play towards the short third man area with the cross bat, and the batters get 1.
It's interesting in this game. Both Sri Lanka and now Zimbabwe hitting it straight to that fielder on the 30-yard circuit and just running. No hesitation whatsoever. And they get through every time.
I guess it's the angle as well, right? For the fielder, that's quite difficult to...
Well, no, I mean, that was basically straight at him. And Sri Lanka were doing the same. They were basically just hitting it straight to the fielder and running, tip and run.
But the thing is also, Bear, what happens is they keep their most fragile fielder in those positions usually. The short fine leg, short third man, I guess. But anyway, Madhushanka bowls this one's outside the leg stump. The loud appeal hits the pad. Madhushanka claims the wicket, pleading with the umpire, running through with the celebrations. It looked down the leg, Bear.
Well, I'm not sure. I thought that was shaping straight, actually. I mean, it did seem to hit him in line with leg stump. The question was it straightening up enough? They're not going to review it. Probably thought, I mean, it was a risky review, but it did seem to shape.
I think it was middle and leg and moving away. Arnav, your
thoughts?
thoughts?
I thought it was leg, actually, but I mean...
I thought it's missing slightly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
probably.
It
Actually,
looks like
looking
it's
at that.
missing.
Midland leg instead of moving away, isn't it? It looked close left arm. I mean, he's a crafty bowler. He's very skilled. He's been out of the side, as I was saying before. It's a good chance for him to stake his claim. But yeah, no damage done. Sri Lanka sort of fight it through in the third over. 16 for no loss. Brian Bennett and Marumani is on the leg stump, slower. Didn't know much about it. There could be a run out here. Oh, misses the stumps. It hits the pads, and the bowler on the follow through picks it up very swiftly and shies with all three stumps to aim. Brian Bennett was nowhere in the picture, given up hope in expectation of the ball not hitting the stumps. Madhushankar unable to hit the bullseye on that occasion. Sri Lanka missed an opportunity. Good try, good pressure there, but Brian Bennett lives to fight another battle.
Should really hit the stumps there. Had a little bit more time than he thought.
He had more time, didn't he? He had absolutely more time. So Sri Lanka lose the opportunity, but here it is. It's a dead rubber here with both teams qualifying for the Super 8s in unusual circumstances, with the top two being not even decided yet. But this one's pushed into the third man area, and the batters go through for a single. So the equation is 160 required of 104 balls, and the earlier one, just as predicted, this was umpire's call, impact and wickets missing. So good call by the umpire, and good call by the Sri Lankan skipper not to review, using their reviews quite micily. It's Bennett on strike again, my namesake.
Yep.
Come on, at least for my namesake, get some runs there, Brian.
4 off 7. It's rubbish, Bennett.
Outside the off stump, swinging away, and a wild swing and a hike, unlike the Bennett on the second of like, but no chance of a run. So
Are you playing any more at the moment?
Yes, I am. I'm actually trialling with the Wales senior team as well.
Right.
The Welsh over 50s. Just turned 50 last year, Bear. So, yeah, playing quite actively as well in the season.
Your kids playing?
Yeah, the boys are playing, but they lost a bit of interest, unfortunately. But, you know, just playing it on. I mean, I still feel fresh. Normally, I'm like the oldest player in the side, in the league on Saturdays. They try to hide me, and I'm like, no, put me in the firing line. I got a shot on my webbing and 5 stitches last summer. Fielding at short extra cover. This one got shortish, and he lofts this one on the off stump. Didn't know much about that, Brian. Lofted high in the air, and Kusal Janit Pereira, the oldest member of the Sri Lankan squad, got underneath it, couldn't get hold of it, had to cover some ground. So Brian Bennett gets another life at end of over number 2. None for 6. Good bowling by Madhushankar. What have you got on of? Have you woken up all this?
Yeah, we've got some comments. So Ankit Kumar says Zimbabwe seem to be on steroids. Well, I haven't seen anything like that so far. They need to really pick up the pace if they are. Lockie says that I suspect that the news is distracting a few people. Well,
yeah, you see that?
Since the last 2 weeks.
Prince Andrew has been arrested.
Yeah.
A genius. About
And
bloody
Jay
time.
Grover, one of our regular commenters, Jay Grover, says, "Is that what you really fucking want, Arnav?" When I asked them to comment, yes, that's exactly what we all want.
Absolutely. You crack on, Jay.
Yes, Jay, we missed your comments. Come on, Jay, you can do it. Don't forget the super chats, guys. If you're watching in, Bear is intently monitoring them. You want to get Bear going? Go for it. Tikshana comes into the attack, the premier bowler, the mystery spin bowler, and he driven by Bennett. Bennett not looking quite he's not found his rhythm, has he? 2 chances, and he's not really looking as if he's got into the groove of things here. He got there, Kusal Pereira, on that occasion. He did well to cover the ground. The senior statesman couldn't grasp it. And Zimbabwe 21 for no loss, and we're in the 4th over. They're around the 6 runs per over. Brian Bennett looking unconvincing on 6, and Madhubani this time a good shot outside the off stump, and he goes for the cross-batted slap towards the third man area, and that's another boundary. 25 for no loss.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Marumani looking more confident. He's 16 off 10, looking like the aggressor, whereas Brian Bennett struggling to sort of 2 chances is given, still there. This one's overpitched and floated beautifully. A nice flight and loop, bit of purchase, a bit of turn from outside the off stump, turning away. Theekshana using all his experience. He'll be the premier bowler to watch here for Sri Lanka. Lost Pathirana, Chamira being rested, and Vanindu Hasranga injured as well. Theekshana, can he pick some tricks off his bag? This one's on a good length driven, and Theekshana does well. He does very well to stop that from passing him. A definite single there. Theekshana, very well experienced. He plays around in the T20 circuit around the globe. He's got 2 balls to go. He's got a boundary. He's come back nicely with 2 dot balls. And the 154 runs of 98 is the equation. Mystery bowling of Theekshana. Here he is. This one's overpitched and on a good length. And this one's again cross-slapped past the cover point area for another boundary.
That was slightly riskier, wasn't it? He picked that off about middle stump. If he had missed that, oof.
It would have been curtains for him, isn't it? But he was so sure of that shot. Marubani looking dangerous where Sri Lanka is concerned. The wicketkeeper batter here, 2 boundaries in that over. He's trying to get Theekshana to lose his rhythm. And lots of excitement amongst Zimbabwean fans. There seem to be quite a lot of them there.
Well, I imagine there's some people over there with some cash.
Oh, that was close. No, outside
Pitching
the leg
outside
stump.
leg. Pitched outside leg, yeah.
Indeed, outside the leg stump there.
Theekshana was running off like it was an absolute given, but you know.
Like Imran Tahir back in the
day. Yeah, exactly that. But
they all seem to be doing that. Even Madhushanka did that in the previous over. So end of over number 4, 29th for no loss. What have we got, Arnav?
Oh, we've got Sauter Hussain arrested for crimes of non-Sri, and because he chats about overrates, allegedly.
Well, yeah, some dodgy shit going on with his overseas stuff, isn't it, really? As well as the Epstein files. He deserves it, man.
Anything else, Arnav?
We've got Tim Wilton Davis saying Zimbabwe for the win. What do we reckon here? I think I agree with him.
No, I still think Sri Lanka. I think, yeah, maybe I'm being a bit down on Zimbabwe, but I mean, I don't expect them to.
I mean, they've got off to about 7 runs and over. I mean, they did just need to pick up the impetus a little bit. I think Zimbabwe will fight. They look like they're warriors. They think they deserve to be there. They bowl like champions. The bowling was great. The skipper has got a heart. He's got a heart in his sleeve.
Yeah, I think the problem with a lot of these sides, and we've mentioned this a few times throughout this, is that after this ball,
Madhushan comes steaming in. He had not a very good first over. This one's played towards the mid-wicket area. The batter's looking for one, and the Matish Theekshana quite equal to the task, a short mid-wicket. They decide against it. Go on, Beck.
Well, I just think that after you get, they generally got pretty handy top 6s, but it's after that they fall away a hell of a lot more than the top tier nations. And so if you get into that, it all falls away very quickly. And generally you do, and I mean, against Australia, they only lost 2 wickets, right? So they got a decent score. But if you can get a few early wickets and get down to those positions, then they really struggle.
Madhushan comes in again. This one short, and he drives this one not convincingly, uppishly though, past over the head of the bowler between mid-off. He was not convincing, but he managed to get the placement right, and that's his first boundary. Brian Bennett 10 off 12, and Zimbabwe 33 for no loss. Nice one. So Brian Bennett getting the first boundary. He's not looked great out there. Marumani, to the contrary, has looked more confident and more aggressive, playing on some nice shots earlier on. He's on 20. Madhushan lacking in discipline and direction here. It's another boundary of his bowling. What will he do? Can he come back strongly? He went for 12 in his first over. Pramod Madhushan playing his first game in a while. This one's he's over-pitched on a fuller length, and Brian Bennett, this one giving himself room on the leg side and tonks this one towards the deep cover point area. There's no fielder, and it's the second boundary in consecutive balls.
Knuckles, can you let in Ed?
And yes, so this is a great kind of a fight back from Zimbabwe. 37 for no loss. In my view, they're slightly ahead here, Zimbabwe.
You reckon?
No. Yes, indeed.
No.
I think so.
Sri Lanka had nearly 55 off the power play.
Yeah, but they choked in the middle, didn't they?
Yeah,
they choked
but,
big time.
Well, they did, but I can't see Zimbabwe doing any different.
Well, let's find out. Just keep it interesting. On the short of the length, this one's played towards the onside, towards the deep square leg area, and Brian Bennett gets a couple. Bennett looking good with 2 boundaries now, and a couple looking more like the Bennett, the commentator now. And is Marumani keeping him company on the other side, 20 or 14. So 39. The current run rate is just over 8. The required run rate's also around that, so they're steadying on here. And Sri Lanka will do well to get a couple of wickets here. They've got Dushan Hemantha, Velalage, and some spinning from Kamindu Mendis as well, who can bowl with both arms, who may be called out to do some bowling today. A couple of wickets here could do the trick, Jabbar.
Very much so. But it may not happen until you get out of the power play. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, as soon as 5 players go out in the outfield, the game becomes a completely different game, doesn't it? I mean, you can't necessarily rely on going over the top, miss-hitting it into a space, and getting 4 runs. You either miss it and get a single, good chance of getting out. If you're going for the big hits, you know.
Yep.
Nature of the beast.
And the next one's a short ball outside the off stump. Brian Bennett's not looking, although he scored the boundaries, it's not looking, I don't know, it's like looking all over the place, the way that the shots are being crafted for an opener in this format. Let's see what he can do as Madhushan bowls. This one short, slower delivery with a lot of pace taken off, but too wide. There the umpire is getting some exercise, stretching their arms, signaling a wide. So Madhushan struggling here with his line and length. It's gone for 23. 139 required of 91 balls. Required run rate 9.16. Current run rate 8.9. So they're thereabouts, Bear.
They are indeed. And but you know, as I said, I don't expect them to hold it all together for the entire time. As
much as I'm a Sri Lankan fan and of Sri Lankan origin, I like Zimbabwe to do well here for the benefit of the next stage of this tournament. As Madhushan bowls, this one's a good delivery, good comeback on a Yorker length and dug away nicely by Bennett. Back to the bowler, no chance of run. At the end of over number 5, 40 for no loss at a current run rate of 8, required run rate 9.27. What have you got, Arnav? And it's time for a change as well.
We've got some praise for you. Your commentator is great, excellent. Says Kiwi off grid. Raj Patel says, is Bennett Olegasegram the elder brother of Brian Bennett?
Thank you very much. Is it with you for a change? Arnav, thank you for that.
Oh, right. Bennett, you're still on.
I'm still on. Yes. It's Knuckle. And Knuckle with the ball by ball. Welcome, Knuckle.
Thank you, Bennett.
Man the media front, and I'll let Knuckle take over. Interesting tussle between bat and ball. Knuckle here, going at 8 runs and over. Zimbabwe required around over 9. What are your thoughts?
Solid start by Zimbabwe rather than an explosive one. Tikshana's going to finish off the power play. Bowls a beautiful delivery that, had it turned, would have cleaned up Pradiwanashi and Marumani, but it just bounced over the top of leg stump. That overspin that Tikshana gets doing for Marumani. Gorgeous looking delivery from Mahesh Tikshana. Zimbabwe need 139, required run rate 9.37 over. They're going at 7.7. Sri Lanka got off to a flyer in the power play, 61 for 1, and then got really slowed down by the spinners in the middle overs. So Zimbabwe trying to do their business in the power play, and that's a fabulous shot by Maramani, slightly over pitch from Theekshana. Maramani just clears the front leg and sends it sailing over long on for 6.
Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6. Let's talk about 6.
Keep those comments coming in, guys, and your views. Keep Ed busy. Yeah, beautiful shot there by Maruman. He's looked the aggressor, hasn't he, Knuckle?
He is very much the aggressor of the partnership, of the opening partnership. Brian Bennett is a very classy batter. Maramani is the guy who tries to give it slightly more of the long handle out of these two. That was certainly the case in that opening partnership against Australia. Where Zimbabwe set and then defended 170. Theekshana, as a lot of spinners do after being hit for 6, fires the next one in flatter and quicker, and Maramani nudges a single. Should say hello to Ed.
Yes, hello. How are you both doing? It's an interesting game at the minute. I think it's very evenly poised.
Yeah, we've seen both teams with both teams on a high, looking to keep that high going into the Super 8s, and both playing with some freedom. It was Brian Bennett, 16 of 16 balls, looks to try and change that balls and runs equation, and does so very nicely. Walked across his stumps and paddles this fine leg. Had absolutely no chance. 4 runs to Brian Bennett. I don't know if he read the carom ball that Theekshana bowled, or if he just played that off length. That nicely played.
More of and I think the moral victory for Zimbabweans to get Theekshana down, because he's the main bowler for Sri Lanka. So getting him off track will be a moral victory for them.
Very short from Theekshana, and Brian Bennett read the length, backed away, and carved this through the offside. Back-to-back boundaries.
Now my innings going, great guns, I hit the ball, 4 runs, I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
Theekshana certainly used to bowling in the power play, and his first over went for 9. This one's gone for 15 already, and still has 1 ball to go. 6.6144. How will he finish this over and the power play? He'll bowl basically an off break outside off stump, but Bennett walks across to it but can't beat cover. There is no run. Good over for Zimbabwe. They finish the power play 55 for no loss. Ed.
Yes, we've got Jay Grover. Ed on socials is already fucking with my Lent vows. I'm not sure if that's no super chats, but feel free.
No, he's already broken that one. He sent one in earlier.
Tim Wilson Davies, do we still have regicide? Eugene January says, can you guys perhaps update the scorecard in real time? We've got our one on screen, but
it automatically updates, and it moves at its own pace.
Lockie 6, someone is the spitting image of World of T-shirts, no names. And then Jay Grover, Lockie 6, don't be rude to the talent. Thank you.
Don't know if we've ever been called that before.
No. They're very creative.
So Zimbabwe need 124 off the next 14 overs. Slightly slower start than Sri Lanka made, 55 for none versus 61 for none. But the pattern of the innings was very much that once Zimbabwe's spinners, Raza and Burl and Creamer, and to a lesser extent Masakadze, got going, Sri Lanka found it really hard to find boundaries during the middle overs. So presumably, Bennett, that'll be something that Sri Lanka will try and replicate.
Yes, Knuckle. I mean, as much as Sri Lanka got off to a better start, I think they lost their way. They were in the woods in the middle part of the innings. They lacked the momentum to build that up on. So this is where Zimbabwe will carefully play this. If they can continue this partnership and take it steadily towards 10 overs, I think they'll be in with a good chance to have a good crack. I want Zimbabwe to do well today.
I think that score of 178 was slightly above par, maybe sort of 10 runs or so above par, but not so much that it was necessarily beyond Zimbabwe. If they can get through this middle over phase where Sri Lanka's spinners, Dushan Hemantha, Welalage, and a couple of more overs, Theekshana with more protection out, as Bear was saying, can
Coming Mendes can be quite sort of useful as well if he can bring his own. But things like on commentary earlier, we did speak about a good score, and I remember saying 180 was a commanding score. I think the fact that Dulalage did well in the last over, Pawan Ratnayaka, had some good handy overs towards the end, scoring at 200, sort of a strike rate, has brought some respectability. But the bowling has looked quite ordinary, Nakul.
Tikshana didn't get his lines right in that last over. Dilshan Madhushankar's 2 overs were very good. 2 overs, none for 6. I mean, Sri Lanka scored 30 in the last 2 overs, which got them up to this score, which has set the game up nicely. And now the Sri Lankan captain has brought himself on.
Came here from Sri Lanka as an all-round devotee. He bowled okay, but with the bat he averaged less than 3. Dasun Shanaka, we'll have to wait and see if he's good enough to play internationally.
Yet to take a wicket. Yet to take a wicket in this tournament, the Sri Lankan captain bowling his seamers starts with a big loopy off cutter, which Maramani just blocks back to Dasun Shanaka, and there is no run. Shanaka pauses to tuck both of his chains back into his shirt.
Current run rate is just below 9, and required run rate is thereabouts, Knuckle. So it's keen tussle here.
There was a very handy little bit of acceleration in that last over of the power play where they took 15 runs of Mahesh Theekshana. Shanaka over the wicket to the left-handed Maramani, who again swings an off cutter, which just dies through to the keeper, and there is no run. I think Shanaka very, very much doubt he'll be bowling much on pace.
63 miles per hour, that ball, Knuckle.
Yeah.
Take a lot of pace off that.
Yeah, a quick off spinner.
I think pace off is quite key as well, isn't it? These kind of pitches, Knuckle.
We saw that with Zimbabwe. As soon as their seamers started bowling cutters and knuckleballs, it started to look a lot more effective. Maramani does make contact with this one and just works it out to deep square leg for a single. Bit of a misfield from the keeper, but there was only ever going to be one. Kusal Mendes behind the stumps. As always, Sri Lanka have lots of top order batters who could potentially be wicket keepers. Basically, everyone in the Sri Lanka attack can either bowl or is a wicket keeper.
Interesting. I mean, Kusal Janitpur has given up his gloves because of some injury earlier on. Kusal Mendes wasn't keeping wickets for a long time up until a few years back, where he donned the gloves. He's done really well for Sri Lanka.
Shanaka into Brian Bennett, the right-hander, who cuts, and that's a poor bit of fielding for the man at short third, and Brian Bennett picks himself up a boundary to backward point.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Another cutter from Shanaka. This one didn't do too much off the pitch. A sort of leg cutter, ran his fingers down the side of the ball. Bennett got it away nicely, but the fielder at backward point comes short third, slightly dived over the top of the ball.
Yeah, he should have stopped that in these conditions, Nakul. Interesting point is the last 2 overs of the Sri Lankan innings was bowled by 2 fast bowlers who were taken to the cleaners.
Another cutter, this time the off cutter from Shanaka. Bennett very much staying back in the crease and trying to cut, gets this one out to deep point for a single. Yeah, I mean they bowled all their spinners through, and you go back to the pace bowlers. I think Brad Evans didn't bowl very well through that innings. He went for 35 of his 3 overs, which I think and went for some runs, and then
he got 2 wickets. Was lucky his last 2 balls, but then his over was very mediocre. More was gifted to Sri Lankan batters.
On pace delivery this time from Shanaka, bouncer, or attempted bouncer, as much as he can bowl one, and at his pace, and Maramani pulls out for a single. 7 runs off Dasun Shanaka's first over. Zimbabwe, after 7, 62 for none, need 117 at exactly 9 and over.
Yeah, Jay Grover, who says, not super chatting over Lent hurts all gorillas but me. Not making tired serial killer lookalike jokes only hurts me. It's in my benefit as well. So happy Lent, Jay. Lucky 6, 10 p.m. here, feels like 3 a.m. Day drinking is awful. Su2, awfully good. And Jay Grover says, wrong crowd, Lockie, wrong crowd. Yeah, well, good luck to you wherever you are and whatever you're drinking right now.
Brian Bennett yet to be dismissed at this World Cup. 48 not out against Oman off 36 balls. A steady 64 not out with Maramani doing the heavy lifting at the other end. And now 29 not out off 21. Maramani is also 29 not out off 21. And Sri Lanka's replacement leg spinner comes into the attack. I'll have to go hunting for his jingle, but it is Dushan Hemantha, who has done very well as the stand-in for Wanindu Hasaranga. Starts with one that drops a little bit short, not that short, and Maramani so quick onto the back foot and pulls it away very pleasantly indeed for 4. Off the bowling of this man.
Dushan Hemantha, you swore that you could turn a ball. You liar.
That wasn't that bad a ball. Maramani very quickly onto the back foot.
Yeah, these openers looking dangerous now. They're slowly capitalizing, pouncing on the loose balls, and certainly...
Nicely bowled from Hemantha. Googly, Fuller drifting across Maramani. Beats the outside edge and nicely taken by Kusal Mendes. There is no run. The Zimbabwe fans in the crowd in those fabulous chevron pattern jackets are up and about. Hemantha, gold chain dangling, is in. Bowls one which turns nicely, and Maramani whips it into the onside. Has a real noticeable Hemantha, a real noticeable dip of the head with it in his delivery stride. Or he kind of like he's trying to force his shoulder down below the perpendicular. So it looks like he's going to bowl a googly every single ball because of that dip of the head and trying to get the arm through like that a little bit higher. The next one is a leg break, doesn't really turn, and Bennett pushes to extra cover off the back foot. There is no run.
Zimbabwe starting to believe now. The win predictor gone up to 64.
Ooh, ridiculous LBW appeal from Hemantha as the ball hits Bennett outside leg stump. Nicely flighted delivery from Dushan Hemantha. Good recovery after that poor-ish first ball from Hemantha, just the one off the next 4 balls.
As a finger spinner, it's always quite hard to get it spot on right at the beginning, but we saw Brian Burley doing it right on from ball 1.
Yeah, wrist spinner. Next one's a little bit short. Does turn, and Bennett cuts. There'll be a single out to the offside sweeper, so 6 runs off Dushan Hemantha's first over, and Zimbabwe are 68 for none.
We've got a question for you both. Eugene, January, thank you for your question. Commentary team, what would be your last 4 teams in this tournament? Especially because of the way the groups are set up. It's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so Super 8, the first group, I think India and South Africa do look the 2 strongest teams in that group. The West Indies are obviously a very, very powerful batting lineup. I do have some potential issues with the West Indies bowling. I just don't think there's quite the depth and the quality. And the Super 8 group, I think New Zealand do look the strongest team in Group 2, and England have done very well in Sri Lanka, but I think that one might be tight between those 3. But I would say England and New Zealand would be my favourites at this stage to get out of that group. All of those games being played in Sri Lanka. As Dunit Welalage, the left arm finger spinner, comes into the attack. Bennett backs away, makes room, and cuts out for a single. No, someone pressed run on Brian Lara cricket by accident, and Brian Bennett, Maramani thought there was a single. There definitely wasn't a single, and Bennett rightly sent him back. Thought there was a second rather. So the end result of all of that is that it's one. That would have been an absurd way to get run out.
Sri Lanka looking like they'll only get the wicket by a run out at this stage because the both batters looking confident and looking as calm as cucumber.
Saw in the first innings how quickly that can change. Nicely bowled by Welalage, took all of the pace off that and drifted it across. Maramani beaten on the sweep. Kusal Mendes whips the bails off, but Maramani was firmly anchored in the crease. We will jingle up the Sri Lankan bowler now.
This kid's such a little
23 years old, and I think he's got a wicket. Maramani has top edged this. It's gone miles in the air, and Welalage settles under it. Very comfortable caught and bowled. Nicely bowled from Welalage. Just taking the pace off, hanging it outside the hitting arc of Maramani, and the top edge is pouched. Dunith Welalage strikes in his first over. Zimbabwe lose their first wicket. They are 69 for 1.
Marumani paying the price.
The crowd says you're out.
Marumani paying the price of playing across the line on this occasion, and Welalage clever bowling. He made him reach for that outside the off stump, and then again this one went ballooned up in the air for easy cotton ball. So Welalage strikes to Sri Lanka. Could this be the beginning of the end for Zimbabwe?
Certainly the end of the beginning as Tawiwanashe Maramani walks off for a well-made 34 off 26 balls. I think Maramani played for the ball to turn, but Welalage, the classic left-arm spinner's dismissal, the demon ball that did not turn, as Ryan Burl, who bowled very, very well earlier, comes out at number 3. Unusual for usually Dion Myers is at 3, but they've sent out Burl.
It was quite surprising that Brian bowled only the 2 overs, Nakul.
He was a bit of a bowler, a spinner of last resort, wasn't he?
He did really well, I thought.
Yeah, bowled extremely well in the first innings.
I think the wicket of Kusal Mendes was the key, because Kusal Mendes usually anchors the innings, and everyone plays around him. So
another left-hander. Maybe that's why they've sent Ryan Burl in to keep the right-hand, left-hand partnership going. Good running despite the direct hit, which as the ball's bounced up off the stumps and hit Kusal Mendes quite hard. It was a push into the onside. Ryan Burl to the edge of the circle. Ryan Burl and Brian Bennett pushed hard for the second run, and I think they've made it fairly comfortably. Good hard running despite the direct hit, and Kusal Mendes has worn one on the wrist.
it might be closer than we think it would be. Let's have a look.
Pushed for 2 to the edge of the circle, and good hard running, good hard decisive running, and Burl has made it quite comfortably, and the ball bounced up and hit Kusal Mendes in the head. Ryan Burl strikes at 125 in T20 internationals. You can't, with some teams like Zimbabwe who play a very wide range of quality and on a massively wide range of pitches, it can be quite hard to make sense of those strike rates. He too got some runs against Australia, but 35 off 30, so relatively pedestrian. But I think he's been sent in as the left-hander ahead of the right-handed Dion Myers to keep the right-hand left-hand partnership going. Ryan Burl drives his second ball out to Kusal Pereira down at long off, and they come through for a single, bringing Bennett back onto strike.
Sri Lankan fielders missing the opportunity to get Brian Bennett out a couple of times. Could this prove costly? Kusal Janith Pereira dropping him, and there's an earlier catch as well that was dropped. Could this be costly for Sri Lanka?
The last ball of the over from Welalage. Bennett has to wait a business week for that to arrive at him, and eventually I think he had ideas of 3 different shots in his mind and played a 4th, just a push down to long on. Good over from Welalage, 5 runs off it, and the wicket of Tawiwanashe Maramani. Zimbabwe 73 for 1 after 9. Kusal Pereira put down Brian Bennett when he was on 5, running back from the edge of the circle, and dropped it over his shoulder. We saw Sri Lanka were massive beneficiaries of some sloppy fielding from Ireland in their first game. Poor Matthew Humphreys had 3 catches dropped off him in the same over, at a point where Ireland were probably on top. Sorry, Ed.
We've got Sutu with an interesting take. He says, controversial take, there's only 2 decent bowlers in the tournament and all the other wickets are just batters being shit. I will say, I'd slightly disagree, but at the same time, the top wicket-taking list is hardly your premier bowlers in world cricket at the minute.
Yeah, what a tournament Shadley van Schalkwijk has had.
Yeah.
Varun Chakravarti is number 2 on that. So
yes, so he's the exception, I would say.
Yeah.
Hemantha continues, and Bennett waits for this one, very content to play the spinners off the back foot. Cuts a semi-misfield from short third, but it was only ever going to be a single.
Rocky Six also joked that the two were Bumrah and Bumrah, which Sisu agrees with.
Yeah, Van Schalkwijk 4 for 25 against both India and Pakistan. Didn't take a single wicket in the 2024 T20 World Cup that was played in the USA, so hell of a glow up for him. Burl into the sweep shot, slightly premeditated, I think, because he was onto that very early, but he middles it nicely enough for a single out to deep mid-wicket. Van Schalkwijk, I'm sure, has awakened the interest of many franchise T20 scouts with his those wicket-to-wicket cutters and skiddy deliveries. Bennett comes down the track and yorks himself, got slightly too close to that from Hemantha, and takes a single down to long off of a thick inside half of the bat. We'll have a change at the end of this over, the 10th, where Nick is going to take you through the next 5 overs in the company of Arnav and Will. Still dancing in the crowd, the Sri Lankan fans, as Burl sweeps out to deep backward square leg. Just a steady diet of singles off Dushan Hemantha, who's, after being hit for 4 off his first ball, has bounced back
Good tidy
nicely.
over. Good tidy over by Dushan Hemantha. Just trying to put the brakes on, but Zimbabwe slightly ahead at the moment. Good to get a couple of wickets to bring them back.
Required run rate has slid up to almost 10 and over, and a LBW appeal from Hemantha, those sliding down the leg side. Another attempted sweep, this time from the right-handed Brian Bennett. It did turn, but I think it pitched outside leg, I think, and they don't decide on the review. There is no run. Bennett 34 off 29 balls, facing up to the last ball of the 10th over, comes down the track again, gets too close to it and yorks himself, and has to content himself with a choked inside edge single. He moves to 35 off 30. Ryan Burl 5 off 4. Zimbabwe halfway through this innings, this chase of 179 are 78 for 1. And we are going to have a change. Ed, will you read some social media messages while Nick gets himself settled?
We've got Lockie 22-810. I bet on Varun Chakravarti all day, any day. I probably agree with that. He's an excellent bowler. Gray Stoke, I thought Dutt for Netherlands was excellent yesterday. I wonder, for the next crew, is Brian Bennett impossible to dismiss? He hasn't been out all tournament, and he's playing very nicely here. I'll leave you with that thought to stew on. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you next time.
Cheers, Ed. Hey, Will, how you doing, man?
Nicky B.
Haven't seen you in a
How's it
while.
going, man?
Very well.
How's it going? I hear congratulations are in order. You've actually got a draft in.
Got a draft together.
Yeah, baby.
As Dineth Walalage continues, Brian Bennett brings out the sweep, but only as far as the sweep on the leg side, Pavan Ratnayake. So just one there. How are you seeing this, Will? Zimbabwe need to go slightly over 10s for the last 10 overs, 100 or 59?
I think that's doable. I mean, it's more than doable. That's kind of the rate in the sort of back end of a T20 nowadays, isn't it?
It is, although Sri Lanka sort of stalled during the second half of their innings as Ryan Burl beats short extra cover, so that is going to race away to the boundary, and they're going to need some more of those if they are going to do it. And I get through my first jingle without any dramas. How you doing, Arnav?
Hey, all good?
All good. Happy with India's performance yesterday?
Oh, unfortunately, I couldn't watch the game because we had class at uni yesterday, so I missed it.
And Burl goes big this time. He picks it from well outside the off stump, fetches it over long on. It's almost into the second tier. He has a little gasp of admiration at his own work, and Dineth Walalage getting taken down here slightly.
His intentions were 666.
So that was a hulking hit, 103 metres, the broadcasters reckon that went. It slammed into the Colombo sign above the lower bleachers in the Premadasa, and Dineth Walalage didn't like the look of it as much as Sikandar Raza and Ryan Burl did. So that takes the rate down to under 10s, 90 or 57 required. A dot ball to follow from Dunith Walalage. Sri Lanka will want to put a few of those together. Although this match doesn't mean anything, where they go into the Super 8s has been preordained. So really we're playing for pride, playing to keep a bit of momentum going. Shorter from Walalage this time. Ball works it away into the leg side. They should come back for 2. They do complete the second easily out to come in Mendes. So a very nice over for Zimbabwe. And Ryan Bowe is getting going a little bit. He's hit the third biggest 6 of the tournament according to Sky Sports. The biggest non-Indian 6 at 103 metres. It was a hell of a hit.
That was a hell of a hit. Although I don't know how they measure it all, you know.
Well, I've heard that these measurements are pretty arbitrary, as this time Ryan Bowe plays just a little push into the offside. So a single to end the over, a good one, 14 from it. Zimbabwe 92 for 1.
Are they more or less arbitrary than the win predictor things?
Well, according to Tony, WinViz is as arbitrary as it gets. I reckon the 6 hit is even more random.
So do I. I think that's literally a bloke just putting random numbers in. That'll do. That's fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
that looked about 120 metres to me.
Yeah.
Right, let's get some comments in. Sautahu says, controversial take. There's only 2 decent bowlers in the tournament and all other wickets are just batters being shit. And Lockie replies to that, Bumrah and Bumrah?
Bumrah and Chakravarti.
Yeah, honestly, but I think there's way more than 2. We've seen great bowling from one of the bowlers in action today, Blessing Muzarabani. He's been amazing this tournament.
He's been great, yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfair to say there's just 2, honestly. I would say at least 7 or 8 great bowlers this tournament.
So we are going to see a bit more of Dasun Shanaka back into the attack. This has looked like a slightly second string Sri Lanka attack today. He's round the wicket to the left-handed bow, who just drops that square onto the offside to start with a single.
I love Sri Lanka in whatever form they are. I think it's it's a weird kind of, I don't know, how old are you, Arnav? Are you in that kind of zone of kind of growing up with Malinga and Muralitharan and
yeah,
all that
honestly,
kind of thing?
Slightly before that as well. I'm 29, so I've watched entirety of Sangakkara's career.
As Shanaka goes over the wicket to Bennett, it's short and it's pulled out to the sweeper on deep backward square just for 1. So Arnav, you remember the glory days?
Oh, absolutely. Glory days, as well as I think I've seen India and Sri Lanka play ODIs more than any other fixture in cricket.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's sad to think that sort of anyone under 20 would probably just assume that Sri Lanka have always been shit.
Which is crazy, isn't it? Because they are
crazy.
For people our age, kind of late 20s, early 30s.
Wide, slower ball from Shanaka. He should have got a dot ball there, but it was poorly fielded by the man at short third, who was Dilshan Madashankar, I think. So the Zimbabwe will get a boundary. I'm in work on the jingles here. Let's see if I can figure it out.
Now my innings going, great guns. I hit the ball, 4 runs. I hit the ball and it went for 4 runs.
It was the attempted leg cutter by Dasun Shanaka. I don't know what a leg cunner is. Cunner sounds like it's short for cunnilingus, so I'll leave that.
Sounds,
that's a word I've never used before.
Yeah.
81 or 51 is the required rate. Shanaka goes short again, and it's straight up in the air. This should be caught at short fine leg. It is indeed. So Sri Lanka are in the wickets. They needed that. Zimbabwe slipped to 98 for 2. Ryan Bowe is gone for a useful 23 off 12. But that is going to be very helpful for the hosts. The flags are flying in the sky.
You silly little boy. What on earth were you playing at? Oh!
Well, I think his eyes lit up there at the sight of a Dasun Shanaka short ball, but it was skewed off the top edge straight into Kusal Pereira's hands, and Lasith Malinga is loving it from beyond the boundary. Ryan Bowe goes.
I
does
love that man?
Oh, don't we all will? Does that shift it back in Sri Lanka's favour? What do we reckon?
I don't know. I mean,
balance, I would say.
I'd say it kind of evens it out a bit, but I'd still say this is Zimbabwe's to lose.
And it brings Sikander Raza to the crease. Let's jingle him up. I think he's going to be the danger man here.
You might just recognize this guy from the runs he made away. And you might recognize this guy from the runs he makes at home. Sikander Raza.
So he's been Zimbabwe's talisman in white ball cricket for a number of years now. Nakul told me he's 40 now. He's looking good for it. 39! But I think Brian Bennett is probably going to look to anchor this innings, be there at the end, and we're going to see Sikander play a lot more shots. Dustin will shift over the wicket to him. It's on a good length. He whips it from outside off stump through mid-wicket, and it's well run. They're going to come back for a second. Nicely backed up by, I think it might have been no, it's Dushan Hemantha, third time lucky. But so Shanaka has gone for 8 off his first 5, but he's picked up an all-important wicket. The equation is 79 or 49. Can he get out of this over?
He just needs to kind of get his head down and get through it, get out, and hope he can sort of keep his head.
Yeah, he's gone slower and into the pitch. It's just tickled away, so it'll be a decent-ish over from Sri Lanka. They conceded 9, but they picked up the wicket. Zimbabwe are 101 for 2.
So we got Sautahu in the comments saying 2 for 38 at 9.8 runs per over for Muzrabani today. Not exactly what I'd call brilliant. But yeah, well, he's not... I agree with you for today, but he got 4 wickets against Australia for, I think, 17 or 18 runs, which really helped them win that match. And that really changed the tournament. Not just their tournament, but overall changed the tournament. So credit where it's due.
I reckon Zimbabwe have been the kind of surprise package of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. As well as West Indies, I would say.
Yeah, loving watching Windies.
Again, they're a kind of probably for like the generation above us, really. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't remember Lara. But
I got a bit of Lara.
I got a little bit of Lara, but like really tail end of Lara.
As Dunith Walalage continues, starts with a dot ball to Sikander Raza. He's on the stumps again, just pushed into the offside, so it's another dot ball. Decent little start to this over here. You must remember Lara, what was it? Would have been 2004, that huge score against England, Will?
Yeah. I remember, but like I didn't get all of Lara. Do you know what I mean?
Sikander Raza misses out there. It was a little shorter. He rocked back and tried to slap it through the covers, but it was straight to the fielder there. So 3 dot balls to start the over. But yeah, it's fantastic to see. I mean, I really enjoyed that period when the West Indies were on top of the world in T20 cricket, winning those tournaments in 12 and 16. But it's been a fallow decade, as this time Raza goes for a huge heave. He can only squirt it away for a single out to the man at deep backward square. So very tidy stuff from Dunith Walalage. The required rate slips back up to 10.5. Brian Bennett is on strike for what seems like the first time in a while. And the game just seems to be in that little lull before we get into the chaos of the final overs. Brian Bennett gives himself room, but he can't find a gap. I think they won't come back for a second, which is wise because it's a decent bit of work out on the boundary. Sri Lanka fans in the stands still looking fairly calm. Sri Lanka normally the dead rubber kings, I must say. It's not uncommon to see them go 2-0 down in the series and then win it when it doesn't matter. As Raza finds Dasun Shanaka at cover for the 100th time this over. That is the end of it. It's 103 for 2 after 13.
Nice.
We got anything coming in on the socials, Arnav?
Yeah, Gray Stokes says, I think he's talking about the Winter Olympics. He said, saw tonight they had a new sport. They ski a bit, they then run up some stairs, then ski up through a mini golf course, then ski downhill. Other people weren't there. If other people weren't there, I'd have assumed I dropped acid.
The Winter Olympics generally is just an absolute trip. Like, the skiing and the shooting thing, and then the thing where they go on the
That's
the
super
train.
rogue. Do they call it like winter triathlon or something?
Oh yeah, like it's mental. But like, how is that? Who puts skiing and shooting together? That's it's mental. That's like billionaire kind of going. I'm going to hunt the peasants and then I'm going to shoot them.
Shanaka's going to bowl a third. He starts with a full slower ball. It's onto Raza's pad, Bennett's pads rather, but they'll sneak through for one. I haven't watched much of the Winter Olympics, but I saw the snowboard half pipe, and it blew my mind.
Yeah, man. Do you know what's also wild is that they're all like 12.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like 10 Vibavs just jumping sort of 20 metres in the air. Shanaka, slow again to Raza, who looks for a really big hit but doesn't quite time it, so it scoots away down to long off for a single. He's looking like he wants to score big runs, but he's 5 from 8, Sikandar Raza. Brian Bennett is 38 off 34. The required rate has snuck up above 11. Lassett's prowling the boundary with authority. Someone's got to shift tempo soon here, right?
Yeah, you got to kick it up in a minute, right?
I think one big over could swing things in Zimbabwe's favour, but they need it. This time Bennett gives himself room, and it's a really clever little uppercut played over the keeper. That's the first 4 we've seen in a while, and it was a really nice one.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
Well, Dasan Shanaka didn't like it. He's covering his eyes, but everyone else did. He backed away, saw it was going to be banged into the turf, and just managed to clip it. Got plenty of elevation, and it raced away.
Perfect.
You love to see it, right? Straight over the keeper's head.
They're the kind of shots that I wish I could play, but like that was the ones that used to knock me out. Where in the bonds.
So this time he goes slower, and it's full. It's tickled away behind square. Mahesh Dikshana does the fielding, but not before Zimbabwe come back for a second. So 68 off 38 required. Zimbabwe are 111 for 2. Brian Bennett still not dismissed in the tournament. He's on 44. What has Sri Lanka got left for their death overs? We still got a couple from Madhushanka, couple from Madhushan, and then I guess we're going to have to see a couple more overs of spin. Spin has generally gone better than pace tonight. As Shanaka bowls a slower full toss, he gets away with it. It's going to be a single. Dushan Hemantha rushing around to do the fielding. So 1 ball left of Shanaka's over. I'm not sure we're going to see him bowl a 4th, as we get a replay of a wide half volley that's bowled at about 60 miles an hour and a bouncer that's bowled at about 70 miles an hour. Neither of them look particularly glorious in slow motion replay. The Paparay is still going in the crowds. It hasn't stopped. I reckon there'll be a party in Sri Lanka today, win or lose. Shanaka slower again. It's down the leg side. I don't think there's anything on that, so it is going to be a wide. He's going to have to bowl it again. All of those slower balls seem to just be slightly losing their line. He's going onto leg stump or wider with them. Winviz, 2 blokes in a pub, have still got Sri Lanka slightly ahead of the game, 51 against 49. They see it as a toss-up. You still seeing it as a toss-up, Will?
Yeah, it's very, it's very in the balance. It's very Brexit numbers, isn't it?
Well, the bookies don't think so. They've got Zimbabwe still at 4.5, so there's money there if anyone fancies it. Shanaka gets this one on the stumps. It's slower again. It's worked away into the offside for a single, so that is the end of the 14th. Zimbabwe 114 for 2.
We've got Dan De Castro in the comments saying, I still maintain Sri Lanka win this from the 14 runs in the 20th over. The winning runs. Zimbabwe should have done better at the death while bowling.
Yeah, those were important little contribution from Walalage, wasn't it, right at the end?
Yeah. And as
Zimbabwe's
the win predictor says, it seems to be in the balance and it could go down that line, so Dan's on point here.
Well, I just think on this pitch, Zimbabwe might not quite have the firepower to find that big over, but I could be proven wrong. I think Sri Lanka's two seamers tonight, Dilshan Madhushankar and Pramod Madhushan, would both rather bowl in the power play than they would at the back end of the innings. So perhaps Zimbabwe waiting for those two to return and going to look to target them.
Oh, we've got a super chat.
Oh, we love to see it.
Yeah, Zippy Tuna with $2. What a tournament for Zimbabwe. Thanks for the coverage.
And let me see.
It's a pleasure, honestly, and we're excited to see them in the Super 8s as well.
It is a pleasure, and I would love to give you the Super Chat jingle. Is it Marketing 2? I've found it there.
Super Chat Cash, Super Chat Cash, Super Chat Cash.
Just for you, Zippy Tuna. Thank you for helping us keep the lights on.
Is it drinks now?
It is. We're at 14, so I don't know. They seem to be taking an extended break. What have we got coming up later in the day?
Shall I go through some more?
Keep
comments?
going, Arnav.
Yep. So we have. There was a discussion about a biathlon.
Oh, the winter.
Is that skiing and shooting? Is that called a biathlon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Greystoke says that biathlon actually has some history. It's very hard to shoot straight if you can't control your breath.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
It's either, as you say, Will, like super billionaire vibes, or it's kind of like rugged as fuck as well. It's like I live in a hut up a mountain and I'm just going to ski down and then shoot an antelope.
It's like that thing with like people that have horses. You're either like super hardcore rich, or you're like me and you're a gypsy boy and you've just nicked a horse and you keep it in your council flat.
I feel like the saddle is the distinguishing feature there, right? Or the jumpers. Like, so the gear around the horse.
It's the gear. It's if you've got the boots that come like halfway up your leg, then you're a rich boy.
As finally we have a bit of cricket back. Dushan Hemantha is back into the attack to bowl his third over. He starts with a little sort of slider that is played out into the offside for one. Plenty of yellow and blue shirts in the crowd, plenty of Sri Lanka flags. The fans in Colombo and Kandy seem to be absolutely loving this tournament. This time it's a little straighter and shorter from Hemantha. Bennett comes down the pitch, but he can't beat the man at long off, Kamal Mashara, 12th man on the field, but they will come back for a couple.
You know, in Pets at Home, there are those like foster an animal posters. There was one for a blind horse in the Pets at Home near me at uni, and my housemate had to persuade me not to get this horse.
I would say in hindsight that's probably a good decision, right, Will?
Yeah, but it felt like it was me because I'm blind. And she was just like, where are you going to keep it? We live in a terraced house in Birmingham. And I was like, I just need the horse, alright?
I just want the horse.
It's great.
As we've got another little break here. Sikandar Raza hasn't got going, has he? 7 off 10.
No.
Hemantha goes short to him, and that's the kind of ball that can kickstart your innings. It was short, it was on leg stump, and it slams into the scoreboard. Huge 6 from Sikandar Raza. Zimbabwe might need a couple more of those.
Yeah.
Damn! That 6 is on fire.
It was another big boy, according to whoever's making up the numbers. 94 meters.
To be honest, that looked like it.
Yeah, it did look big, didn't it?
Yeah,
and this one might be big as well. It was full, but it's clubbed straight by Sikandar Raza, and that one's into the side screen. So, Dushan Hemantha having a tough time. Sikandar Raza giving him a bit of punishment.
2 6s in a row. 2 6s in a row.
Suddenly, he moves to 19 off 12. This is exactly what Zimbabwe need. That big over, which can change the complexion of the match. And, well, penny for Dushan Hemantha's thoughts right now. He's bowled a sort of club cricket half-tracker, Then a full flighty one, which has got the treatment. Where does he go now?
I think
it's a tricky one.
If I was him, I'd be wanting to go home.
Well, he's only got one ball left of the over, so if he can fire one in and get out of it, he goes wide. Raza cover drives. It's going to be fielded on the offside boundary. No, it's not. It's going to trickle away for 4. So in really, really good end for Zimbabwe to that over. 6-6-4. That changes the complexion of the game.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
And we are due for a change in the studio. What's going on, Bear? Okay, we are saying goodbye to Will and Arnav. Lovely to see you both.
Yep. Cheers, boys.
See you guys. Cheers.
Yeah, we got 5 overs left. You can run in there. You're on the socials, mate. You've got the joy of reading out our YouTube listeners' comments.
This is going to be an interesting test for Zimbabwe because
I think they should win from here.
I think after that over, they've gone favourites.
Yeah, the reason I say that, the Dean Myers is next in. He's only batted once in the tournament, got a duck. The rest of the batting lineup haven't faced a ball between them in the tournament.
Have they not lost that many wickets in it?
They were 2 down against Oman plus a retired hit, 2 down against Australia, and then there was the rain off against Ireland.
Yeah, you
so
can
actually,
put that on your lap, so I can put my feet on the table.
It would be quite useful.
Put my feet up here.
It'd be quite useful in a way for that lower middle order.
Well, I think they'd rather win it. Yeah, I know what you mean, but ideally you win all your T20s with no one below 6 having a bat. That one is slammed out square on the offside and they'll get a single. Yeah, I think Zimbabwe should be favourites from here. It is a T20 after all. You only need, they only got 40 runs to get, a few boundaries, and they should sail over, and they've got 30 balls to do it in. 29 now, 44 required of 29. That one is again short and wide and flat and driven out. Can't beat the man at point. They don't go for the single.
Off the bowling of this man.
The Mahesh mystery ball is coming to send you away. Coming to send you away.
I put the last money in my betting account on an LBW. I don't know why, but it was at 14s to 1. That one is tried to guide down past third man, but he misses it. There's no run.
Don't hate it, Bear. I think Dikshan will bowl straight.
Well, that's what I'm counting on, an attempted sweep that gets missed.
I've never bet on method of dismissal.
Yeah, it's quite a good one.
You like a run out as well, don't you?
I do like a run out. They rarely happen. But when Broad used to bat, I always used to go bold. There was a period where he got bowled every single fucking time, and it was like a shoe-in. That one is hit high and long by Raza. It went more vertical than long, but he got it long enough, and it's over the boundary. It's another 6 runs, 38 off 26. I think they're going to do this. This would be bad for Sri Lanka, wouldn't it? Going into the final 6, losing to Sri Lanka.
Yes, an ugly one.
Zimbabwe even.
Also, as you were saying earlier, I think someone was saying earlier, Mahesh Theekshana getting taken apart. They're probably, along with Chamira, their best bowler, fit bowler left. Is not what they'd have been expecting or hoping going into the Super 8.
No,
and it'll be a big come down after having just come back and beaten Australia in the way that they did. And also, Zimbabwe would have finished off top of the group, which would be quite amazing. And that one is going to be 4 more. It's a horrible ball, full toss, but outside wide of the off stump, played behind square on the offside. In fact, it's so bad they've decided to cut the satellite signal from Sri Lanka. The screen has gone dark.
I actually don't hate it.
No, we're really sorry for the temporary fault. Yeah, someone's pulled the plug on this.
About time too. Shall I do a few socials while we're waiting?
Might as well.
Greystoke says, got Zim at 350 squeaky bum time. Less squeaky with every ball.
Less squeaky with every ball. We can't tell you what's going on though because we've lost the picture.
Something's happening.
Sikandar Raza was 7 off 10. He's now 33 off 17.
Wow.
Yeah, I said he was struggling to get going, and then he's
then he got going.
I can tell you that the last ball of the over was a single to Sikandar Raza. So he is now 34 off 18, and Zimbabwe 146 for 2 need 33 of the last 4 overs with 8 wickets in hand.
Well, they should do that. They should easily do that.
Extra Fluffo is saying the married alcoholic couple next door used to chase each other around their house with axes. That was gold. I don't know what he's on about. Lockie reckons axes are comic gold. Sutahu is saying, Jay, it's hard to beat any Scandi where they can release their inner Viking madness. Don't drink an axe from Extra Fluffo. A lot of axe chat Tactical Koki is saying Raz Al Ghul. I think that's from Batman.
Batman.
Yeah. Well, we're back. No, we're just seeing highlights. They're obviously rolling back some highlights because they can't get live pictures.
No, we're back with. We're in a little break between overs.
Oh, are we? I hope so. I'd like to see the end of this. Zimbabwean fans are loving it, and so they should. 146 for 2. As we said, 4 overs left. Our required rate's back down to 8.25, and the modern day T20, that should be, especially with 8 wickets in there, and that should be a shoo-in.
12 off that over, 20 off the one before, 11 off the one before that.
Yeah, exactly. Accelerating at the right time. Well, that's short, and it's been put in the stands again over square leg. Can't bowl short, man.
Another
Picking
big
everything
one.
up. It was. Kind of Raza. It's another 6. 40 off 19 he's on now.
So he must be, what, 30 off 9 since he
Something
got going.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was an attempted cutter, which isn't necessarily that bad delivery. It just didn't cut. It just didn't stick in the wicket at all. Or
You know, there's so much of this slower ball bouncer stuff, but if you get it slightly wrong, it always ends up over the fence. I'd much rather people. I know people can get underneath Yorkers, but I just think it's got more going for it than a short, slower ball. Especially if you bowl too many of them, because the batsmen get used to them. That one is driven up to long off for a single.
By the way, the new bowler, Sri Lanka going back to their quick bowlers, is this man.
Madhushanka plays for Sri Lanka.
He's going to have to get used to this. Dilshan Madhushanka coming in for Sri Lanka's actual proper death bowler, Matish Patirana, who is not going to be able to play any further part in the tournament.
No, done a hammy, isn't he? What's wrong with Hasaranga? What's he done? Hammy as
Hammy,
well?
I think Patirana's was a calf. Maybe it's calf the higher one and Hammy's the lower
No,
one.
Hammer's the higher one.
Oh,
calf
okay,
the lower
then
one.
I'd say the other way around, Bear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever, I think that's their tournament's done, isn't it?
Yeah, it is
This
for both
level.
of them.
Yeah. Dilshan bowls a wide.
Almost off the cut strip.
Almost off the cut. Well, they might be asking for that for a no ball, aren't they?
Wide.
No, they're checking it. It's only going to be a wide. Has to pitch off the cut strip, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
That was very, very wide. It certainly didn't pitch off the cut strip. It's quite close. It was only about 6 inches in.
I think outside that second line should be a sort of double wide at least.
Well, yeah. Doesn't really matter, does it? You're going to chase after it. I mean, it was an Australian chased one in the other game, didn't he? It was a wide, and Q ended it to somebody. That short wide smashed. Anyone out there? Yeah, there is. Point is there. This will be a bit of a shake-up for Sri Lanka if they lose to Zimbabwe, and it'll be good for Zimbabwe. They'll be going into the Super 8s thinking they got a chance. I still don't think they do, but maybe. 155 for 2 after 16.3. 24 required off 21. That should be a walk.
And meanwhile, a half century for the still undismissed Brian Bennett.
Has he not been dismissed in the entire tournament?
No.
Wow. No average. So presumably he's on about 150.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not always sure being undismissed is a good thing as a T20 batter. It does sort of
yeah, especially if it's hardly over a run of ball. Skander Raza has a big heave at that. Has he pulled something? No, he missed it. It was a slower ball, and it's through to the keeper, and there is no run. I suppose it doesn't matter that Sri Lanka lose this, except for you lose a bit of momentum going into the Super 8.
Yeah, I think they'll be worried about their bowling there.
Well, yeah, and they might. Yeah, maybe they should be. I mean, they struggled against England with quite a full strength attack, didn't they? And as you say,
and I'll have Chamira to come back. He's just being rested for this game.
Slower ball again, cut by Raza out to point. He'll get himself a single.
So Sri Lanka play England in Palakele on Sunday. They play New Zealand back here at the Premadasa on Wednesday, and then they finish back in Kandy against Pakistan. Zimbabwe play West Indies in Mumbai, then India in Chennai, and then finish against Zimbabwe in Delhi.
Right. Bennett facing up 50 or 41. It's not a great strike rate, but as you say, if he's not been out, it kind of holds the innings together. As you say, they've only lost 2 wickets in each game, plus a retired hurt. That's pretty good going, to be fair. That one is placed out just short of the man at backward point. He's on the edge of the circle and it bounces just in front of him. It's a tricky one to field. Maybe he's trying to catch it, but anyway, it bounced past him down to the boundary. It's 4 runs.
Sri Lanka's ground fielding's been a little bit sloppy in this innings. There's been a lot of like diving over the ball or not quite committing.
Drop catch early on as well.
Really poor.
Well, that was Bennett, wasn't it? It was dropped.
Yeah, Brian Bennett was dropped on 5.
And that also put my bet out as well. Annoyingly, I had it under 19.5 and he was dropped when the score was on 19. Typical.
Kusal Pereira running back should have left it for the guy running in.
Yeah, I think so, probably. But he called for it. You see the catch the other day, was it Sky ran into Rinku Singh?
Yes, and then shouted at him.
Well, yeah, but if you watch the replay, he kind of pointed at him, but Rinku Singh was looking up in the air, so he didn't see it, and he didn't actually say anything, and then they ran into each other.
I imagine you probably actually, in a full ground, you probably can't hear a call.
Well, you certainly can't see it when you're looking up at the sky. Anyway, 19 required off 18.
Sri Lanka have gone to spin.
Well, come on, this is my last chance for an LBW. Played up towards long on.
To be fair,
For 1.
To be fair, this guy has been their best bowler today.
Is it Wadalaga?
It's such a little pond, but that boy just get a job done. Doing it, Wadalaga. He knows he's cool like a cool kid at your school.
I like Wadalaga. I think he's a good bowler. Waits for that, does Raza. Just plays it out into the offside and there's no run. There's no need to panic here from Zimbabwe. They've just got to play the singles and wait for one bad ball and that's the game done.
Look like some fans heading to the exit already.
Yes.
Getting a head start in the tuk-tuk queue outside the ground. It's not a good sign.
Goes back, cuts again, gets another single. And the score ticks along. 16 required off 15.
Really impressive, just flicking of the switch from Sikandar Raza, because they've been in danger of sort of meandering to defeat, and then Sikandar Raza decided, no, I'm taking you down.
That's clipped off the pads by Bennett. They're thinking about 2, but it's not there. And it's just a 1 out to deep mid-wicket.
He took on the Sri Lanka's sort of leading 2 spinners, Dushan Hemantha and Mahesh Theekshana.
Yeah. Did he play in any big leagues at any point, did Sikandar Raza? Feels like he did, but I'm not sure he did.
He's played quite a lot in the PSL.
Oh, right,
I think he's played a little bit of IPL as well.
Certainly a few associate players have played in the IPL. We've noticed that they've got IPL jingles, weirdly. That one was driven out to the point with cover boundary for a single, that last ball. And the last ball of the over is played down towards long off. Bounces before it gets there, not particularly well timed. They'll get a single, 13 required off 12.
Yeah, Sikandar Raza played 9 games in the IPL for Punjab Kings over a couple of years. He's also played the SC20, the ILT20, the Major League Cricket, the PSL, the 100, the Blast, the CPL, the Bangladesh Premier League, the Lanka Premier League, the now defunct Umzansi Super League, and the Afghan Premier League.
I think he's done himself an injury as well, because he hobbled a couple of those singles.
Yeah, probably all those teams he's playing for.
He seemed to. There was a couple of balls ago where he seemed to.
He's holding the back of his. Has he done a hammy? It could be cramp, I suppose.
He seemed to like swing himself off his feet and slightly get injured. I would imagine that this is the sort of injury that you wouldn't really pay much attention to if it were a quote-unquote live game. But there's no point taking any risks with Sikandar Raza at this stage. If you might as well get him off.
Well, yeah, you'd have thought so. He probably won't want to go off, will he?
Well, no, but to take it out of his hands, I think he's going to be so important for them.
Well, it depends if it's cramp or if it's a muscle. If it's a muscle, that could be out. You know, if it's a proper hammy or a calf, then it could be out for the rest of the tournament.
That's what happened to poor Brendan Taylor.
Yeah.
In the first game against Oman.
These conditions can do it, can't they? It gets hot, it gets humid, lose a lot of fluids.
I've been slacking on the socials, but Jay has popped up saying Knuckles' jacket is not grey, thus mint. Not so sure about the shoulder pads, mind.
It's not shoulder pads, it's just I'm slightly
it's not shoulder pads,
slightly slouching.
Just hench.
Yeah, he's been in the gym. We're having a little break because Ganaraza is getting a bit of medical treatment. Seemed to pull up in the last over. He's going to carry on now.
26 degrees Celsius and 85% humidity.
Yeah.
85% humidity is nasty.
I used to walk to my corner shop and find that my T-shirt was stuck to me by the time I got there. It'd gone see-through.
Quick info are saying cramp.
Okay. Big heave into the... Well, he's trying to go over the offside, was Bennett, but he got it... No, sorry, it's Ganaraza, but... no, it was Bennett, I thought so. But he got a big inside edge that went out to move wicket, and they just got a single. 12 required off 11. 2 shots.
Interesting that Sri Lanka seem to be using their spinners as their death bowlers. So
well, maybe they think they'll get a best chance with them. I don't know. I mean, they seem to be picking up the pace quite nicely. The pace bowlers haven't bowled very well either. A lot of loose deliveries. That one is... Oh, caught. I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Ganaraza's hit that well and hard, and it's going down, but it's been picked up at cover. He's quite short. Very well, just above the ground. And that's a good catch. Ganaraza has batted extraordinarily well, though. 45 of 26, probably taking the game away from Sri Lanka. They only require 10 off 12. And now he's got cramp, he can get off the pitch.
Captain on captain crime. Dasan Shanaka taking the catch, which thankfully was straight at him because Ganaraza hit that really, really hard.
He did indeed.
Terrific innings from Ganaraza. 2 4s, 4 6s, and as you say, Bear has complimented Brian Bennett really well and has almost certainly won this game. And now the Zimbabwe middle order will get to bat, maybe. I wonder if they're going to send... I was going to say they've sent in Musakiwa, who hasn't faced a ball in this tournament.
Tashinga Musakiwa, gee golly, let me tell ya, he could have been a barrel maker, but he's here instead, playing cricket.
In fact, he hasn't batted or bowled in this tournament yet.
Been a passenger. Taken any catches?
Let's see.
Does it tell you that? I don't even know if you find that sort of stuff out.
Yeah, he's taken 4 catches.
Oh, there you go. So he's done something useful.
No, not a full tournament. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Well, there's a long way to go now they're in the Super 8s. They've got another 3 games to play. That's tossed up over the top of that cover. Not particularly well timed. Spins away nearly from the fielder who's in the deep, but he does field it and will only be 1. 11 required off 9.
I've seen a lot of fielders who square the wicket who seems to have forgotten that the ball spins after you cut it.
Yeah.
It's that second bounce where it
especially when it's mishit.
It always will spin finer off a top edge or a cut on the second bounce.
Yeah. Down the track comes Bennett. Drives hard but straight to long off. Look at the single. 10 required off 8. It's going to go to the last over here. Boundary will make it very easy for Zimbabwe. Make it in singles then. But can Musakiwa, I don't know anything about Musakiwa, never seen him play. I'm not sure he played in the test match, don't think he did. Well, he's hit that one high, long, and I don't think very far. Oh, we have an accident. Jesus Christ, those two nearly hit each other, but it was eventually caught. Someone pulled out right at the last minute. Fuck me, I thought they were really going to go into each other head on there.
It looked like Dasan Shanaka was about to rugby tackle Walalage.
It did, yeah, didn't it? I mean, they were both heading towards the catch. It was hit and missed time by Musakiwa. So, well, he has had a bat knackle. He's lasted 2 balls, scored 1 run, and then spooned 1 up in the air. And then nearly caused a nasty accident in the outfield. Oh, he caught that in his fingertips
That is a very good catch from... That would have been a good catch from Shanaka anyway, even if there hadn't been a speeding Walalage coming round from long on.
Do you think Walalage caught him at the last minute and swerved out of the way?
Just the old sidestep.
Yeah.
Like a fire engine going to the wrong fire.
Well, suddenly now, run rate's up to 9 again, isn't it? All of a sudden, 10 off 7.
Yep, there's some nervousness in the comments. Lockie's saying this is squeaking. His cigarettes are riding on it. I want it for you, Lockie, as it doesn't mean anything for Sri Lanka. Everyone deserves the right to smoke.
Well, it would be bad for Zim to have got to that position and lose, because that was surely, in a T20,
when you're in that position, you should pretty much always get it over the line.
Yeah, once you're anywhere close to a runner ball, I mean, it's a total
Yeah,
formality.
I mean, at this point, you only need one boundary, right? And then a couple of singles, really.
It's the classic case of the 19th over being massively, massively pivotal.
Yeah, true.
Tony Manyonga also hasn't batted in this tournament and is not a bowler. He has taken probably the catch of the tournament against Australia. Phenomenal diving catch, and he took a good one earlier today. He will get a chance to bat.
Finally.
When 21 Young steps through the crease, can see ain't fucking about what he can do.
We're seeing a replay of that catch again. Yeah, Walalage swerved out the way of his speeding captain at the last possible second.
Yeah. And he did. He caught it right, kind of in the fingertips, didn't he, as well? He was stretching all the way. 25 metres he ran.
I mean, to be honest, that was probably Walalage's catch. Coming in off the rope rather than Shanaka running back from the edge of the circle. But
his captain wants to do everything.
Yeah, ran an absolute mile to get there.
Right, that's down leg side. Will be a wide. 9 off 7.
Wide.
Manyonga technically hasn't faced the ball because that one doesn't count. And Takana Raza is getting all his kit off with a big gold chain, like a gold chain. It's good.
There's a lot of gold chains knocking around.
There they are. Dushan is in. Down the track comes Manyonga, sorry, and hits it straight to cover, but they do go through for the single. That was a nice shot. Got to the pitch of the ball, drove it nicely. If they'd missed him, probably would have been 4 runs. 8 required off the last over. Ooh, tense stuff.
It's on a knife edge, isn't it?
It
Lucky
is.
Singh is suggesting they could go get 2s, 1 and a 4. That would be 7. So give us a super over.
Super over.
Wouldn't mind a super over. Lockie's saying penguins coo like doves, but only when they have ciggies. Ciggies help everything. Greystoke, this pink jacket is outside the GC bell curve.
Yeah.
It's
not grey.
I've also noticed it doesn't really read on screen.
Yeah.
No,
well, that's on that. I don't
it
know
looks
about
much better on the.
it looks all right on the
I was
YouTube.
already like, I've worked in TV. The amount. Stop wearing check shirts on TV.
Oh, yeah.
For God's sake.
Tight checks are really bad as well. Big checks are kind of okay, but yeah, there was a whole period of people doing that. Plain colours only. Otherwise you get this nasty strobing effect. Manyonga is going to face up. Is it
Teague Shanna bowling
in the last over, and the first ball has been knocked out of the park for 6 runs. Game done. 2 runs required off 5 balls. Good shot. Manyonga gets himself going in his tournament. Just what the doctor ordered.
Billy hops and kicks. The number of the day is 666.
Well, this, it says something about Zimbabwe, doesn't it? I mean, I poo-pooed them, but maybe they'll do better than I thought. But something says when the pressure's on that they probably won't.
I think Zimbabwe are not going to. I think you will have to beat them rather than them losing, if that makes any sense.
Well, certainly by this batting display, they're not scared, are they? And then they've got hitters who can get it over the boundary, which is the important thing in a T20. The fact that they've chased down 170. I mean, Sri Lanka's been hard to chase down bigger targets.
I think Sri Lanka were not great in that sort of 6 to 15 over
Yeah,
period
they were very
today.
slow in that, but I still thought they had enough runs in there.
As did I.
Bowling has been pretty poor today, but as you say,
I
they've
don't know
lost.
if there's been any dew and it's got a bit easier to bat against the spinners in the second innings.
Yeah, that's cut out towards point. I'll just get the single. 4 balls to get 1 run. Don't do in Afghanistan. They fucked that up against South Africa, didn't they? Jesus, I didn't see it, but
it was phenomenal. I did a thing of like, there's lots of ifs and buts and should have done this, should have done that. That wasn't the point of that game for me. That was just the drama of that was incredible. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants a bit of drama, and that's good, but you kind of wanted them to get over the line, didn't you? And to run yourself out when you had still had 2 or 3 balls left. Courtney.
Yeah, big up Courtney. I didn't realise he was part of the Zimbabwe coaching staff. I've got a signed ball from him from when I was a kid. One of my proudest possessions.
I used to love Courtney Walsh. Him and Kirtley, when they were bowling together, were genius. That's it. Game done. Driven out through covers. Probably going to go at the boundary. It doesn't really matter. They get the one they require. In fact, it did go to the boundary. So they end up on 182 for 4. very good win for Zimbabwe. I'm a bit surprised. I haven't really watched them throughout this tournament so far. I enjoyed the fact that they beat Australia. I didn't really watch that game until it got to the end. But that's a pretty good performance. They bowled reasonably okay. Their bowling unit is reasonably sound. And they got some batters who can score some runs and some heavy hitters. So it's T20. Anyone can do it on their day. I still wouldn't expect them to win, but they will cause teams some problems going into the Super 8s. They've got nothing to lose. So probably the lowest ranked team going through. But it's a great win. Anyone else have got any thoughts?
No, I think they also you can tell from the way they feel that there's a real energy and a real togetherness in this Zimbabwe team. Obviously, Zimbabwe has been through a horrendous 21st century by and large, both as a country and as a cricketing nation. But they're starting to come out of that. This team that's been built, there's younger players coming through, plus that veteran core, Sikandar Raza, Graham Creamer coming back. Brendan Taylor is still with the group despite being injured and out of the tournament. A couple of really sort of standout players like Muzar Abani and Sikandar Raza, probably the two best known of those. But they look like a team who really know what they're doing. And what I was saying earlier, like they're not gonna let their standards drop. They're not gonna choke under pressure. If you are a better team and you play to your potential and you beat them, okay, but they're not going to make it easy for you. And they're up against the West Indies first, and the West Indies have been very impressive in this tournament.
But they're equally likely to explode.
I think that if Zimbabwe can beat the West Indies in that game on Monday in Mumbai, then which it would very much be a sort of slight surprise rather than it's not in shock territory, then watch out. I think that's going to be a really interesting game. They, as I say, they play Zimbabwe, India, and South Africa, and we'll see Sri Lanka again on Sunday in Palakkale, Kandy against England.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be a good one. I'm not in on Sunday, unfortunately. Sunday's my day off. Supposedly football day, but I think the last 3 games have been rained off because of drowning pitches.
I won't be here either. I'm in Istanbul, but I'll be keeping an eye on it.
Tone asked me, can you do Saturday Sri Lanka game? Or
No, I'm away this weekend.
You're away this weekend. Apparently we're very short on Saturday, which means I'm probably going to be sat here on my own all day. But hey, that's it for the day. We are out. We will be back tomorrow for a pointless game. Well, hopefully not. Well, hopefully we see Australia humiliate themselves against Namibia, what did I say, Namibia? Oman. I keep saying Namibia, but it's Oman. Which is even better, as I said, which will be a lot of joyous fun. I think it's a 1:30 kickoff tomorrow. We'll be back for then, the last game of the this phase of the tournament. Then we're into the Super 8s and stuff that means shit. Anyway, we'll be back then. See you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Guerrilla crickets. Whoa. Guerrilla crickets. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre,